Domino's. Get the door, it's Domino's. Popa Heating and Cooling. Stay comfortable year-round. Powers Health. Everything we do, everything we believe. Strachan Van Til. Indiana made. Liuna. Feel the power. People's Bank. You first banking. And Westland & Bennett. Goal-oriented legal solutions you can trust. Welcome you to the Wildcat Den. It's week number 7. Hanover Central hosting the Hobart Brickies here, trying to grab a late season W. Hobart all of a sudden spiraling a little bit as they have dropped 2 consecutive ball games. A close one at home, a walk-off field goal for the Red Devils, who have now put themselves in a position to potentially win the conference in this season's final week against the 59ers. Along with Tim Fedler, I'm Sam Michael. Tim, this Hanover club has controlled their conferences each of the last 2 years, one of them being in the GSSC, and then last year in year number 1 in the NCC, they came in and immediately took over the party and kind of spoiled everybody else's season. They dominated en route to the NCC crown, but this year, after they've graduated some really important pieces, everybody else has kind of used that opportunity to get a little bit of revenge that they had gotten on them the last few seasons, and because of that, it's been a little bit of a rough year, up and down, 3-3 for Hanover Central, but a chance tonight to make a potential statement against a Hobart team who might be at the perfect spot for Hanover to get them.
Yeah, and I think most people saw this coming when you graduate Bonner at quarterback, Verretta at running back, and Bartolomeo, head coach Tony Bartolomeo's son, at wide receiver, 3 most important positions on the offense, in terms of skill position. So you had to replace those 3 players. Everyone knew it was going to be an uphill climb. And then you open up the season with a very difficult schedule, playing Michigan City at Michigan City, and then Indianapolis-Chatard, one of the best programs in the state of Indiana. So it was going to be a challenge, but then they started to right the ship. And it really started at the half of the Highland game when they made a quarterback change. They bring in Wyatt Toole. He comes out and orchestrates 28 points in the second half in that game and beating Highland 28-0. Played Lowell fairly competitive the next week, losing 35-20 to a very good Lowell team. And then, getting 2 good wins last 2 weeks against Kankakee Valley and Munster. And really what's changed with them is you've seen a connection with Toole and Anthony Lehman, a player I had high expectations for coming into the year, the big tight end. He had, I believe it's 5 catches a week ago. Looks like maybe he's starting to get going. And Isaiah Bikema has been tremendous pretty much since, the Chatard game, at least when I first saw him, and he really started to make progress. I've seen him twice since then, and that kid's a load. He's only 5'7", about 170 pounds, but he's extremely quick. He runs between the tackles. He hits the holes hard. He always falls forward. He had over 200 yards rushing last week against Munster, but he's going to have to do it today against a stout Hobart run defense.
You mentioned the guy that I want to focus on. That's Anthony Lehman and the quarterback Wyatt Toole. Lehman coming back. He had missed the first 4 games due to injury, and now he is back in the fold the last 2, and Wyatt Toole hadn't really played the first 3 or 4 games, and so his elevation comes at the same time. You get arguably your best receiver, who had played a lot of the tight end slot receiving spots for this Wildcat team the last few years when he had some more options on the outside. But now that they don't, they're moving him around this offense, and he's got to be the main focal point outside of the running back, Bikema. In the passing game, though, for sure, it's number 8.
Yeah, and I was surprised a little bit how they used him last week. I thought Lehman was more of a, between the hashes type of guy, run the seam down the middle, and he did that a little last week. But they really get him out on the perimeter. He's a very athletic tight end at 6'4", 225. But they really ran him out, got him the ball in the flat on the perimeter, and let him use his athleticism and let him get down the sideline where he ran people over last week. So, he can really do it all. He's just one of these new age tight ends. You look at the NFL, like the Brock Bowers and those type of guys that have the speed and athleticism to do it on the perimeter. Or if you want to throw him over the middle, get him matched up with a linebacker, that linebacker has virtually no chance.
On the other side, Hobart has struggled the last 2 weeks offensively after putting up a ton of points over their first 4 games. This Bricky offense has hit some tough moments over the last 2 weeks. Only 24 points combined. Scored really, we won't call it a garbage touchdown. They were still kind of in it at the end against Andrea, but it was definitely a lot too late when they scored their only touchdown against the 59ers. They were tied at 17 until that walk-off field goal last week in a 20-17 defeat. But just not moving the football, and the defense really set up the 2 touchdowns they scored, one directly with a pick six, and the other one set them up to pound it in on a goal to go pretty much. So what's going on with this Bricky offense that has led them to such difficulty?
Yeah, what we have seen, in the Hobart game and last week against Lowell was just an absolute struggle in running the football. They start off the season 4-0, and, one could say maybe they played, a little bit soft of a schedule and put up some numbers that were maybe a little false. Chesterton's a really good team, week 1, but then they had to beat Portage, they beat Munster, they beat Kankakee Valley, 3 teams that are really struggling, put up some pretty good numbers offensively, scoring 41 points against Munster, 40 against Kankakee Valley, 52 in week 2 against Portage. But then they played 2 really good defenses. Andran, arguably the best defense in the region, at least from the teams that I have seen this year, and then a very good defensive team in Lowell last week. So is it that they just struggled running the football mainly against 2 very good defenses? Or, is it that maybe they were exposed a little bit and what they did the first 4 weeks of the season wasn't what they are really capable of doing when they play better competition? As always, the default answer is it's probably somewhere in the middle. I think we'll get an idea today. Munster ran the football really well last week against this Hanover Central defense. Can Hobart come out? If they can't run the football today, when I think there's opportunities based on what Munster did last week, then I think Hobart's got real concerns. But if they can come out and pound the ball this week and have success on the ground, maybe they just struggled against 2 really good defenses the last 2 weeks, and they got to find a way to shore that up for the postseason.
Let's talk more about this one, get you set for the start of it. It is Hanover Central hosting the Brickies, coming up in just a moment on the other side. Tech Credit Union supports the essential role of union labor in building strong communities. That's why we offer hassle-free banking, financial empowerment, and a commitment to your success. Save for the future, handle life's challenges, and trust a partner that stands by hardworking union members. Tech Credit Union, the better option for you and your money. Visit techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union, supporting union families every step of the way.
Popa Heating and Cooling is now here to service your area. Since 1968, we have been Northwest Indiana's trusted HVAC experts. Whether it's installing, repairing, or maintaining your heating and cooling systems, our professional and friendly service ensures you stay comfortable year-round. From furnaces and air conditioners to boilers and humidifiers, we handle it all. For tailored maintenance plans, 24/7 emergency response, and premium HVAC solutions, visit popahvac.com or call 219-838-7700.
This weekend, make Doc's Barbecue your home for wall-to-wall football action. Kick things off with Friday Night Lights on JED TV. Roll into a full slate of college football Saturday, and wrap it up with every big play from NFL Sunday, all on the big screen at Doc's. Pair the games with Southern-style hickory-smoked barbecue in a fun, family-friendly atmosphere. Stop by Doc's Smokehouse in Dyer, where football and flavor go hand-in-hand all weekend long.
Life's biggest challenges don't come with a warning. When legal issues arise, whether it's a car accident, personal injury, criminal charge, or representing you before municipal boards, you need a trusted advocate on your side. At Westland & Bennett, we listen first because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Emma and Jake's just baby-proof their 2-bedroom bungalow to prepare for baby number 1 insurance. We're good at Madeline and Chance's just gave in and became minivan people to make room for baby number 2 insurance. And we're good at Gabby and Nate's just moved to a house with a bigger backyard to welcome fur baby number 3 insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA. Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Plumbers Local 210 is building the future, and we're looking for service plumbers to join our team. Our training center invests nearly $500,000 every year to make sure our members are the best in the industry. From a 5-year apprenticeship and an associate degree at Ivy Tech to ongoing certifications in safety and new technology, our plumbers are trained for excellence. Every member is drug tested and licensed for your safety and peace of mind. When you need plumbing work done, make sure you ask for the license. It's your right to ask.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Company's Insurance Professionals, Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Visiting Brickies taking the field here at the Wildcat Den. Tim Fedler, Sam Michael with you. And we say this every year, I think, but this season's gone faster and faster than ever. Week number 7 already here. And the NCC win a lot, Tim, as we thought it was going to, but Hobart has kind of got themselves in a position where I think they're a bit surprised. They thought for sure they'd win at least one of the last 2 weeks and have dropped a couple of close ones. And as we touched on before the break, that they just didn't play very well offensively. But now they've lost that ability to probably play for a conference championship. It'll most likely come down to 59ers and the Red Devils in week number 9, which makes it kind of cool that the last week of the regular season ended up setting up that way. But outside of the Brickies dropping the last 2, have there been any surprises for you?
Oh, not really. I think it really has gone according to plan. Lowell maybe is actually a little better than I thought they would be. And maybe that's just my, not knowing exactly what they had coming back after 2 straight 4-win seasons. Obviously, a lot of respect for Coach McKim and what he did in New Prairie, so I know he would, do good things at Lowell. But I also have a lot of respect for Coach Kilmer. So, I don't think what happened the last 2 years had anything to do with Coach Kilmer's coaching. So maybe just a little bit of timing and, always bringing in that new energy, new person. Sometimes you get that instant response, from the new guys. So maybe that one surprised me a little bit. I knew Hanover would struggle a little bit. I think how they struggled the first couple weeks of the year was a little surprising, their lack of being able to do anything offensively. But again, like I said before the break, they played a very tough schedule at Michigan City and Chittard. So other than, Hobart, a lot of talk about them possibly dominating the region this year, the conference, making a run down state. Certainly offensively what they did the last 2 weeks is going to have to get a lot better if they want to make a deep run towards Indianapolis. But defensively, they've been very good in each of those 2 losses against Andrean and against Lowell.
When you talk about the Wildcats as well, they're going through some changes, of course. New head coach here, Tony Bartolomeo, easy for me to say, had been on staff for a while here, but he is now the head man. Coach Parker stepping aside after the season ended. And there's been some growing pains, not because of the head coach and his staff per se, but as we talked about, all that talent that had graduated over the last 2 seasons. And, just kind of loosely keeping an eye on what is going on across in the freshman and JV level as well. It's something that not necessarily, I don't think they're going to struggle or anything like that, but some of the schools who have struggled at the varsity level have competed, and I know the Highland Trojans have had some success against Hanover's freshmen and 8th grade teams and things like that. So this isn't like, it's just a one-off thing. This is more evening out for the rest of it. So as a coach, when you look at all that, it's going to take your finest effort to make it happen here.
They came into the NCC at the right time. They were dominating the region for the last 4 or 5 years, and they entered the NCC and surprised a lot of people. And I was probably at the top of that list. That people were surprised at how much Hanover dominated the NCC the last 2 years. I thought year one they were going to get pushed around, would struggle to be around 500, and I couldn't have been more wrong. But, you just look at this community, and, this has been talked to death about this growing community in Cedar Lake and everyone moving out this way. Every program has its ups and downs, but they're going to continue to get families moving in here, get talent. They got awesome facilities. Coach Bartolomeo is no stranger to being a head coach, ran Lake Central before sliding over to be the assistant at Hanover. So he knows exactly what it takes, and he's going to get them going at the lower levels. And, I think Hanover, Andrea, and Hobart, Lowell are going to be competing at the top of this conference for many years to come. And that's not to say that Highland or Munster or KV isn't going to sneak in there as well at some point. But I think Hanover's going to be in the mix for a long time.
Hobart ready to kick this one away. The Wildcats will start on offense, and we will see some of those new pieces. It's new pieces who are old pieces, as we talked about. At least one of them, Anthony Lehman, coming back. I'm sure he'll be heavily featured across the 2 games he has played. It's 13 receptions, over 70 receiving yards, and he will be featured in that. The running back, Isaiah Bykema, will talk about plenty. He has carried the football a ton over the 6 weeks, over 100 attempts so far. He's halfway to a 1,000-yard season, and his quarterback taking over midway for Jeff Resney, who started the season at that spot and has given way to the junior left-handed quarterback to right-handed quarterback. Hanover will start with the ball at their own 32-yard line.
Yeah, so curious to see the run game when you attack for Hanover. If I had one complaint about last week, it looked like at times when they were just dominating on the ground against Munster, they all of a sudden put the ball in the air, and a few times, you'd get that incomplete pass on second down, then it would force a 3rd and long incomplete pass, and it would really put them in a hole. I would like to see them just be a little more disciplined, running the football until Hobart's defense proves they can stop them.
Toole, the quarterback, as we talked about, Bykema will get it a ton. He gets it here on a first down carry. And never actually got tackled, but they stop his forward progress after 2.
Yeah, Von Jones drove him back about 10 yards, but that's what you're going to get out of Bykema. He's very slippery. You're going to get runs like this where he's going to get maybe 1 yard, 2 yards, but then next thing you know, he's going to break one for 15 or 20, if not more. So just keep grinding it out on the ground. And, I would like to see them run the football again here, just establish this early.
Bykema on the season, as we said, over 100 carries, but he's only got 4 rushing touchdowns. Looked like one of the Brickies jumped once, and then the second time a couple of guys did. And it's an offsides call, which helps that first down play that only went for 2 keep him on schedule. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Yeah, it looks like Preston Perez went once, didn't get the call, tried it again, and then got called the second time. So if they weren't going to run the football on second down, I think this definitely is going to change the call. We're going to get Bykema here.
So it's 2nd and 3 from their own 39-yard line. Toole will look to throw. Throw short, completes across midfield or near that spot. It is Lehman, who we talked about, got the first down.
Yeah, you saw a big connection develop with them last week in the Munster game. And Lehman didn't do much fancy there. He just ran beyond the sticks, sat, turned around, and the ball was on him.
That first down brought to you by Indiana University Northwest, the first one in the ball game as the Wildcats move the sticks. As they sit at their own 46-yard line, ball on the right hash. Two receivers bottom of your screen. It's a give to Bykema, and again, it is clogged up. No gain on the play. Back to the line of scrimmage, and we talked about it before we got on air. This is a really tough team to run the ball against, especially between the tackles.
As good of a football team as Andran is, they really struggled running the football against Hobart. You know, it wasn't just a dominant performance on both sides of the field in that Andran victory. They struggled offensively as well. They just had a couple more big plays where Hobart couldn't get anything going until they got the ball on the 10-yard line late. So this is a very good Hobart defense. Hanover's going to have to work to get anything on the ground.
So the running game struggled, 2 yards on 2 carries. It's a play-action pass. Throwing almost intercepted as it was really good coverage from Bryce Tolliver, who was stride for stride.
And that's what it may take in this ball game is what team, because they both struggle, or Hobart struggles running the football, and Hanover is going to struggle against a stout Hobart defense against the run. Which team is going to be able to go over the top and hit that big play might be the difference in this one.
So 3rd and 10 for this Hanover Central offense. They completed a first down pass on a 2nd and 3. This one where the Brickies want them to be. Wyatt Toole on the year, 47 of 80 coming into today. 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He almost had his 3rd INT on the last pass attempt. They roll the pocket left. He sets his feet, throws low. It is tipped and incomplete. It was almost a catch, then almost an interception, as Vinny Bonato was the intended receiver.
Bonato was there. He created separation in the secondary of Hobart and just had that ball come up short on him. She'll take a look at it here. Toole just couldn't get it to him as Bonato had to kind of sit down and try to scoop it.
So the Wildcats will kick it away near midfield, trying to flip field position a little bit. Hobart has been really successful. They've got a couple of guys who are good in the return game, and they always put 2 back there. Subchinski is one of them. He watches it go over his head. That's a smart play, especially with the turf that bounces into the end zone. It's a touchback.
Real nice punt. Unfortunately, it rolled into the end zone, but nice spiral on that ball. Got some good distance on it. And now we're going to get a look at the Hobart offense, struggling 2 weeks in a row. What kind of changes, what kind of adjustments has Coach Schreiber made entering this ball game, knowing they've got almost nothing going? Talked a lot about what they did running the football. Haven't got much through the air the last 2 weeks either. So we'll see if they come out, any kind of adjustments today. It looks like at running back it's going to be Aiden Cash, although right now they're going empty.
Interesting formation. 4 guys bunched over to the right of the quarterback. Tatum looking left. He likes his one-on-one matchup. Throws short, complete. Out of bounds after the catch is Subchinski. He's got a 5-yard gain.
Might be the same play we saw them open up the Andran game with 2 weeks ago after I talked about come up and establish a line of scrimmage, run the football. I think they came out and ran that same play.
Didn't see Max Pickett last week. He really struggled against Andran. I know he's playing with a knee injury. Not starting today. They throw short, and that is incomplete, as that was intended for Stephen Miller.
Yeah, setting up a little screen there for Miller, coming back and had blockers established, and that's the one Miller's going to tell you he should have had.
Miller had some space. It looked like some blockers out in front. 3rd down and 5 from their own 25-yard line. As we said, this rookie offense really struggling. Even though 17 points isn't a great number last week, it was a little bit deceptive even that. Tatum on a play action. Throwing, nobody went with Tolliver. Both guys went with Miller streaking up the field. Tolliver makes the catch. He's out of bounds at the 35. It's a first down.
Yeah, you said it. Miscommunication in the Hanover secondaries. You're going to get a good look at it here. When you got 2 DBs, both going back with Miller, the deep threat. Yeah, and then allowed Tolliver just to sit down and pick up the first.
That's about as easy as it gets for Alex Tatum, who has completed 2 of his first 3 passing attempts. First time we see a running back in formation. And it is a fake to him. Throwing high, incomplete. Dangerous for Terry Irvin.
Pass intended for Irvin on the play.
And that running back looks like it's Edward Fontanes. Beg your pardon on the name. did not have him on the depth chart, the 5'8", 190-pound sophomore. So with Pickett down last week, it was a lot of Aiden Cash, and looks like that's the adjustment here is go with the sophomore.
Second down and 10 from their own 35. Wildcats bring some pressure. Tatum unloads, looking left. Throws it a bit high again, and it's incomplete. And his receiver, Tolliver, coming back.
That's just a long throw to make. You hit going all the way to the opposite field. Ball's in the air a long time. And I don't think we've seen a run yet in this ball game. So the adjustment, at least early on, is to have more of a heavy dose of the pass game. And it's not going to be a run here as they go empty again.
They need their own 46 if they want to convert. It's 3rd and 10. Again, Hanover's showing some pressure. 4 guys down in front. They bring Fontanez in motion. It's Tatum rolling left, throws on the run low to the outside. The pass is caught. It's a beautiful delivery to Stephen Miller, who went down to make the catch. Good for 11 yards and a first down.
Another big 3rd down conversion. That ball was thrown short. Miller, sure-handed, went down to make the catch and pick up the first.
Huge conversion, and IUN first down. Tatum pulled it out, kept him himself. He got walloped on the tackle, but he's got a solid gain on first down. They're into Hanover Central territory as he picks up 6.
And that's what I want to see is more of that. He had 48 carries on the year coming to the game, but definitely want to see more of Tatum running the football, those design runs, calling his own number, and that was a nice pickup on first down there.
Second down just inside Hanover territory. Another play-action pass that is batted down. They were trying to throw it to Subchinski in the middle of the formation, and it never got there.
Good job by the Hanover defensive front. See if we can get an idea who batted that one down. That was Corey Hazley. Call his name a lot. The second leading tackler on this Hanover defense behind Zerby.
Tatum rolling to his right on 3rd down, throwing on the run, intended for Miller. It's great coverage, knocked away by Lucas Velisca, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, you said it, great coverage. Velisca was all over him. Looked like Hobart got away with a hold there at the line of scrimmage. The right guard kind of tackling a Hanover player to the ground. So fortunate on a no call there, but ended up not mattering except for a few yards of field position.
Didn't see Aiden Cash on that drive at all, Tim, and just got a note passed along to me. It looks like he might be out today. So some real attrition at running back. This is a great punt, and the Brickies are going to let it bounce a little bit more in their favor. And they're trying to use a little wind gust from their hands as the ball bounces all the way down to the 3-yard line, and that is where Hanover Central is going to take over. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats when we come back.
From the gasoline in your car to the jet fuel in the sky, the diesel moving freight, propane warming homes, asphalt paving roads, and petrochemicals for everyday products, we make it all. We're United Steelworkers Local 7-1, the local 7-1 oil workers, proud to power Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland, and the Midwest. We're not just refinery workers, we're your neighbors. United Steelworkers Local 7-1, powering the region because we are the region.
First and 10 for the Wildcats at their own 3-yard line. It is a give to Bykema, who has not found any running lanes. Kind of predictably, we set it up for you at the beginning. He's back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's going to be tough against this Hobart defense, but I just don't want to see him go away from it, because I think eventually he's so slippery, he's going to be able to slither his way through there, maybe get a big gain here and there. Just stick with it rather than just committing to the pass game all night.
Tough spot to be. Quarterback Toole standing in his own end zone out of the shotgun. He wants to throw on 2nd down. Going to take a shot, looking near sideline. Throwing, and just out of the hands of Velisca. It's a beautiful throw from the quarterback, but could not quite connect.
Velisca had one-on-one coverage with Subchinski, had him beat. had the ball in his hands, obviously a little overthrown. If it could have been dropped in there a little better, but he certainly had an opportunity to make a big play.
So not where you want to be. That's why the special teams game is so important. We see it even across the highest level in the National Football League, the difference between special teams play in terms of field goals and punting. So a good punt makes it tough here for Hanover Central. Toole on third down. Throws it, completes, and run after the catch is going to net the first down. Went to the slot receiver to his right, and that's the first down completed to Cameron and Andrejevic.
Yeah, just a nice little slant for Andrejevic. Get a good picture of it here. Yeah, just a nice little inside slant. You got a couple guys running little mini posts, and he slipped in right behind them underneath the defense and was able to pick up the first down.
So they don't throw it to the chains here, but the run after the catch nets the first down. Again, nothing for Bikema. There is a force field right now at the line of scrimmage. He is dropped for a short loss.
Well, we've seen predictability so far in terms of Hanover has run the ball on first down, and Hobart's gearing up from that. Wouldn't mind seeing a pass on first down and then try to give the ball to Bikema on second and third. Also, everything's been up the middle. Even though Bikema's strong in that area, so is Hobart's defense. Try to get him to the outside. Quick pitch, something to get Bikema on the perimeter.
4 receivers in this set. 3 to the left of the quarterback, bottom of your screen. He's looking that way on a second down. Throws there, caught. It is complete to Resney, who started the year as the quarterback. And his run after the catch is going to take him right to the marker. That's a first down.
Very similar to the play we just saw with Andrejevic a couple plays ago. You got 3 guys running out from the trips, and then you got the one just cutting off the route and sitting down in front of the defense for the first down. I'd like to see him put the ball in the air here. It's been run heavy on first down all game.
They flipped the script on this setup here. Those receivers now to the right of the quarterback had some trouble with the snap. It's a quick hitter off to Resney, and he is hit hard. One tackler going low, cleaned up on a nice tackle from the safety position. That's a 2-yard pickup, and that was kind of blown up after the fumbled snap.
Yeah, it was, because Veliska was out there trying to hold that block, and had that ball got to him a little sooner, Veliska's block would have been just enough to free up Resney for a few more yards there.
All the folks just joining us on the radio side, 5 minutes, 30 seconds and ticking here in the first quarter. Still no score. Hanover Central on their second possession. They're across their own 35-yard line. Toole looks to throw. He fires, caught. That's Veliska, tries to change as he cuts back outside the hash marks, but it'll be a yard short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Resney's doing a great job of mixing up who he's throwing the ball to. Andrejevic, Resney, Lehman, and these are just great routes where you got a couple guys going deep, and then you have one just kind of sitting down around the sticks, as Veliska did there.
So the running game has been unable to pick up anything. Best run of the night so far from Bikema is for 2 yards. So what do they do here? Hobart showing a lot of pressure in the middle of their defense on a 3rd and 1. Toole out of the shotgun. Turns and gives it. Bikema, just enough of a crease, explodes through the line. He's got a 4-yard pickup and a first down.
And in a way, it's the pressure that helped Bikema get that first down, because all the second level, those linebackers were coming up. They were all blitzing. Hanover's able to pick it up and then open up a nice hole on the right side there between Tarzan and Blake Belcher to get Bikema going a little bit for that first down.
Another first down brought to you by Indiana University Northwest, the region's university. It's their own 49-yard line. For this Wildcat offense, again, 4 receivers in this set. Toole throwing, completes another short one, and the run after the catch has been successful for the Wildcats. It is Anthony Lehman on a 15-yard pickup to the Hobart 35.
Yeah, and that's what Anthony Lehman can do. You just get the ball in his hands, and those yards after the catch that he can get is going to look like that all game long. Nice little timing route. As soon as Lehman got to his spot, turned, the ball was right on him.
So 35 yards away from pay dirt. Hanover Central trying to get the game started in their direction. Coming into today, probably Hobart a slight favorite on paper. But the Wildcats, a big swing game in their season, trying to get over 500 at 4-3 here in week 7. Toole wants to throw it on first down. Throws another short one. That was behind the intended receiver and knocked away for an incomplete pass.
There was a lot of traffic there, but the ball being thrown behind certainly helped. Tolliver was there to knock it off. Tolliver would not have been able to make the play if the ball would have been out front, but there were 2 other Hobart DBs in the area, so that play may have been broken up elsewhere.
So it's second down from the Brickey 35-yard line. This Brickey defense has spent a lot of time on the field and in tough field position. Toole wants to throw it on second down as he slides left and fires incomplete. It was just out of the hands of the intended receiver, Lucas Veliska.
He throws well on the move, typically, does Toole, but that's one where he had time to set his feet. If he would have set his feet, he could have delivered a strike out there and completed that pass at the sideline.
So interesting spot to be here for Hanover Central. They're down in 10 from the Brickey 35-yard line. Not really an opportunity here for a field goal. Desiderio has attempted 5 field goals on the season. He's 2 of 5, but his need to get it down to about the 15 or 20-yard line, even think about it. It's a pump and go. They look left sideline. Sobczynski bits in stride. That is a touchdown. Jacob Furco makes the catch and rolls in for 6.
Just a well-executed drive. Furco, I think, is the 4th or 5th receiver to catch a pass already in this one. You're going to take a look at a beautiful pump and go. He had Lehman sitting at the line of scrimmage with a hand in the air, and that drew 2 defenders, and that allowed Furco to get the one-on-one down the sideline, and just a perfectly executed pass by Wyatt Toole. Great drive here for Hanover.
Beautiful pass from the quarterback. Watched him during warm-ups. He was working on those, but not a good end to that touchdown drive as the extra point is no good. So they'll have to settle for a 6-0 lead with 3:24 to play in the first.
For 100 years, Roofers Local 26 has been keeping Northwest Indiana dry and safe. Since 1919, our highly trained members have built a reputation for skills, safety, and reliability. With a 4-year apprenticeship and certifications in OSHA safety, first aid, and CPR, we deliver quality you can trust. When you need roofing done right, choose Roofers Local 26, protecting what matters most for over a century. For more information, visit www.roofers26.com.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
35-yard touchdown pass to Jacob Furco, which is brought to you by Westland and Bennett. And the pressure's on, choose Westland and Bennett. It was a 3rd down and 10, Tim Fedler, and quarterback and wide receiver perfectly in rhythm for that score.
Yeah, it was a great play. Again, it's Anthony Lehman stopping at the line of scrimmage, throwing his hand in the air, demanding the ball. 2 Hobart defenders ran towards him just enough. Now, again, I don't know the exact coverage that was called, but I'm sure one of them was meant to be a safety high to help on that one-on-one coverage.
This is returnable for Tolliver. Stays on his feet still. Dancing around the sideline, then he got shoved out of bounds just before he gets to the 40-yard line. Pretty good return. And we'll see if this Hobart offense can do anything now. They have really, really struggled for about the last 9 straight quarters.
Hey, you wonder, you start looking again like what happened last week. Is the defense going to have to make a big play and put Hobart in a short field? Hobart, I think it was Tolliver. I apologize for not remembering. Hobart did have a kickoff return for a touchdown that was wiped off the board with a holding penalty last week against Lowell. I believe it was the 3rd quarter of that game. So they're certainly capable in the special teams of doing that, but they're going to have to help. Someone's going to have to come up big to give Hobart a short field, especially if they're not going to be able to even attempt to run the football, which other than Tatum, they haven't done.
Well, they're going to try to mix it up a little bit. Sobczynski is in from his wide receiver position to try to run the football, but That is not going anywhere. He's cut off before he could turn the quarter by Lincoln Serby.
Yeah, I mean, you're down Pickett. Just found out they're down Cash. So we saw Fontanez in there a little bit, but he never got a carry. I wouldn't mind seeing Miles White back there at some point. He's got a couple carries on a year as well.
Play action here for Tatum. He throws short, caught by Stephen Miller, but unlike Hanover Central, there has not been anything really for the run after carry. He's tackled immediately after a pickup of 3.
Now, the receivers have to wait a little bit longer. It's a lot of these long throws. The ball just seems to be in the air for a long time, come out of the hands of Tatum. So they're not able to get squared up and to get any yards after the catch. You want to see maybe some little quicker slants, something where you can get these receivers on the move.
Miller comes in motion. 2 receivers now as he gets set here on the right side. Subchinski in the slot. On a 3rd down, Tatum trying to roll to that side. He's going to take a shot, throwing downfield. Subchinski's down there in coverage. It's Velisca. The football came out. We're going to see if this is called an interception or not. I think it's incomplete. We didn't really see it, a definitive signal. Looks like the side judge in front of us calling it incomplete, and he is. It'll be 4th down, though, and Hobart's going to have to punt.
Good, yeah, that ball was coming out as he was going down. Now, maybe you could have had something towards the face mask with the helmet being ripped off, perhaps, but the right call in terms of never had control. He had a foot down initially, but then the ball was bobbling as he came out of bounds.
One of the Wildcats got on late and just kind of messed up all the timing. Another great punt here from the Brickies, and the bounce helps them out all the way down to the 8-yard line. And so we will see the Hanover Central offense come back out here in just a moment. 1:59 to play. They've got a touchdown lead. This weekend, make Doc's Barbecue your home for wall-to-wall football action. Kick things off with Friday Night Lights on JEG TV. Roll into a full slate of college football Saturday, and wrap it up with every big play from NFL Sunday, all on the big screen at Doc's. Pair the games with Southern-style hickory-smoked barbecue in a fun, family-friendly atmosphere. Stop by Doc's Smokehouse in Dyer, where football and flavor go hand-in-hand all weekend long. Wildcats go back to work after a 97-yard touchdown, Tim. It was a 3rd down and long. Backed up in their own end zone. They end up going all the way down the field. It was an impressive drive. 1st down carry for Bikema. Trying to stay on his feet, bounces it back inside. He picks up 4 yards.
That might be his biggest gain of the game, or equal the one he had on the last drive. It's been a struggle for Bikema, who's had a very good year to this point. 104 carries, 542 yards. Last week, 21 carries, 209 yards. He was a beast running all over that Munster defense. But the way Hanover's putting the ball in the air today and Toole mixing it up to his different receivers, they're really picking it up for Bikema, who they knew was going to have a hard time up the middle.
Play action, throwing on time. Velisca slips away and then dives forward for a couple extra yards. To the 25, it's a 1st down.
If he doesn't lose his footing, he's still running towards the end zone. He gave Miles White the opportunity to bring him down there, as you'll see here. I just talked about that, as you mentioned, Hobart not getting the yards after the catch, and Hanover is, and it's those types of plays. It's those little mini posts or those quick slants that are being thrown out in front, where Hobart's receivers are turning around, looking and waiting for that ball to get to them, and it's allowing the Hanover defense to close in.
So some breathing room. They started this drive at the 8-yard line. They're at the 25. It's a first and 10 carry here for Bikema as they try to shove the pile forward. It's a 3-yard pickup.
But I love the play call from Bartolomeo in terms of he's not going away from the run. Every 1st down, I believe, except one, they've ran the ball on 1st down. And he's going to keep doing that. He trusts Bikema to get him 3-4 yards to set up a 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7, and you got the entire playbook in front of you. And now usually this is when we're going to get some type of quick slant out of a trips formation. Although now they're going to go tight end and keep an eye on Lehman and see what he does.
Toole takes the shotgun snap. He rolls right, throws. That was a perfect pass. Lehman down and away, makes the sliding catch. That's another 1st down.
And nothing fancy out of that either. Lehman just comes from his tight end spot. He runs a simple, about a 10-yard out, and the ball just is on him right away. And he gets matched up initially. He had big number 66, Josh Diaz, chasing him, and that's going to be advantage Lehman all game long.
That's the end of the first quarter. It's a quarter dominated by the Wildcats. They've got a 6-0 lead, and they've got the football.
Lantern Man faces off against a nefarious insurance swindler.
I'll trick them into a contract and just keep raising the rates.
Luckily, they can make a call to Crow Company's Lantern Man. He's always ready to protect families from the insurance swindler.
I can easily defeat your overpriced policies. Fair prices always prevail when you call me, the Crow Company's Lantern Man. Crow Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Opportunities are everywhere, even right around the corner. That's where you'll find Horizon Bank, going beyond to make a difference in our community. Whether you're starting a business or a family, expanding your kitchen or your customer base, drop by and see us for friendly service, local expertise, and solid financial advice. Horizon Bank, beyond ordinary banking. Learn more at horizonbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on...
Wildcat offense back to work here on a first down. They throw tight quarters and incomplete, as the intended receiver was Vinny Bonato, and play just never looked right from the get-go.
Well, Bonato still doesn't know that he was the intended receiver. He never got his head turned around. Furco, kind of stayed at the line of scrimmage out in the perimeter. I don't know if he thought he was supposed to get the ball or just be the decoy out there. He was open and maybe would have had an opportunity to pick up a few yards, but yeah, Bonato just never got his head around. Miscommunication.
Looked like, too, if the quarterback held onto that ball a little bit longer, that might have had to play over the top. On second down, he wants to throw. Fakes, throws over the middle, incomplete. And there's no flags. Looks like Lehman was looking for something. There was one player who hit the ground, but that was the defensive player, Irvin. So incomplete is the call.
And that ball did not come out of Toole's hands very well. Looked almost like he was losing control and kind of pushed it with the palm of his hand. And then, just ugly all the way around with the defender falling down and Lehman kind of wondering what was going on.
So Bricky's trying to get off the field. This defense has had to play a ton of snaps of late and trying to see if they can get a stop here and get their offense back out there, and then they'll try to find their own rhythm here. 3rd down and 10. They max protect it. Toole taking a shot, looking down the field. Veliska, great coverage. Subchinski knocked it away.
Yeah, knocked the ball almost into the hands of Stephen Miller, but again, that was just an ugly-looking throw again, just a wounded duck all the way down there. Never really had an opportunity for a completion.
So Wildcats will punt it away. A promising drive that had good things going at the end of the first quarter. Then once the second quarter came into effect, a little bit tougher. It was almost blocked. Low kick. Subchinski picks it up after a couple of bounces, trying to turn it back upfield, but he is quickly covered up. Good special teams work as Zerby makes the tackle.
Kind of a dangerous play, but in the end, he probably ended up saving his team about 5-6 yards at least of field position. That ball may have rolled into the end zone and may have stopped at the 1 yard line. He was able to pick that ball up, without too much trouble, not too many Hanover defenders nearby. So all in all, I thought not a bad play, even though he may have lost a yard on the return.
So Hobart goes back to work here offensively. Trailing 6-0. They need 90 yards for a touchdown from their own 10-yard line. And we'll see if they can get anything going. The running game has been non-existent, and it is again right here as they try Fontanez for the first time, and He goes backwards for a 1-yard loss.
And just not much there. You know, running the football, at least they gave it a shot there. That was Kopech all over the tackle on that one. Another one of these great Hanover linebackers. You know, but kind of like Hanover, I think you still have to show that you're willing to run the football to keep this defense honest, and mainly guys like Hazley, Kopech, and Zerby.
Tatum wants to throw. Everything's covered up. Scrambling around the goal line. Now trying to use his legs, working to the right side, still on his feet. He's shoved out of bounds after a couple of yards. There's a flag behind the play, and I'm going to guess this is coming back.
Well, he wanted to come here near side for Subchinski, but he was being double-teamed. Marsilio was in the area, but he had no opportunity. And by the time he saw that, that's the guy he wanted. He didn't get the single coverage he was hoping for. He had to change fields, and everyone's scrambling, and you know that's where he ended up getting the hold.
Hanover fans, it's 3rd down.
So the holding penalty is going to back them up half the distance to the goal.
Correction, repeat.
And it'll be second down and 15. This Hobart offense just looks nothing like we saw it early. There were some struggles when I saw them in week 1 against Chesterton, but they still put up 20 points and felt like they probably left a couple scores on the field a little bit. And then after that, it was pretty easy. They were putting up 30 and 40 points a game, and it has just been a problem ever since these last 2 weeks and then this first half so far today. Second and long, and now another marker comes in, and I think somebody might have got a head start. It's going to make things even tougher.
And again, I think what we're starting to see is that speaks more about the defenses of who Hobart was playing when they were putting up 52 points, 41 points, 40 points in weeks 2, 3, and 4. It's 3 teams that are struggling this year, and Hobart was able to take advantage.
Tatum in trouble, firing right side, looking for a big play in the passing game, and almost pulled it in with one hand. That was Tolliver. The coverage was really good on the outside, and the pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, he almost made a tremendous catch, but Hazley just barreling down, crushing Tatum as that ball was released out of his hand. And sets up a big 3rd down here. It's dangerous. You know, anytime you drop back to throw the ball in the end zone, you're talking about holds, which could lead to safeties. You want to pick up a few yards here to give your punter space. I'm looking at maybe a draw, a screen, or just simply run the ball up the middle. If you're going to do that, just call Tatum's number and let him try to pick up a couple.
3rd down and 19. And now a whistle. And I have no idea why. I think we're ready for play again here. The play clock went all the way down to 2. Now they reset it. We're ready to go. Hobart looking for a huge play, but taking the safe route. They hand it off instead to Fontenay. And he is back to the line of scrimmage with forward progress. But that is another drive that this Hobart offense has been unable to do anything.
Very dangerous play call because you're running a read option from the end zone. Very slow developing. If you're going to run the football from that deep, it just needs to be a direct handoff, pound it up the middle, or Tatum take the ball and just run up the middle to give your punter room. You're dancing around there, you know, with the read option. That ball could pop out, land in the end zone. The defense can bust through, give yourself a safety. A lot of things can go wrong.
So a short returnable punt. Bonato dancing out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It's a 15-yard return. And Hanover Central is in business, and that's what a struggling offense can do as well. It puts your defense in a really tough spot.
Well, this is a very good Hobart defense. You know, the score they gave up was a long pass play. It's hard to grind out long drives against this team. Let's see if they can come up big here. They're known to get a big turnover. Hanover putting the ball in the air a lot. Hobart had the 2 big interceptions last week, one of them a pick 6. Something like that's going to need to happen, and maybe happen right here where this defense is going to need to come up with a big takeaway.
Wyatt Toole and this offense go back to work. And it starts with a run up the middle.
Julio, the ball carrier for the Wildcats.
A couple of yards there for Dominic Julio. For the first time today, it's not Isaiah Bikema who has the carry. It's a 4-yard pickup.
Well, Hanover's gone a lot of two backs throughout the year with Julio and Bikema splitting carries. From what I've seen, Bikema has had the more success, and Julio was actually listed as the number 1 a week ago. And then, of course, Bikema takes that over this big game last week. But Julio's certainly a great second option, at least.
He gets it here again on second down, trying to churn, spins, and a good tackle. Just would not let him go. Vontrell Jones, the junior linebacker.
Tackle completed once again by Jones.
So good job for Hobart here on these first 2 downs, trying to get a big stop here. You know, Hanover's had some very good designs in their pass game. We'll see what they look to do here. Keep an eye on where's Lehman. Not even sure he's out there right now. I think that's him lined up right there in the tight end spot just off the line.
He is to the right of the quarterback, looking the other way. They're trying to set up a screen.
There was nobody over there.
And Jones was all over it. Julio was kind of tucked in between the rest of the offensive linemen. It's 4th down, and decision here for Tony Bartolomeo.
Yeah, that ball was closest to left guard Nate Conlon over there. You said Julio kind of got caught up about the 25-yard line, but Hanover was keeping the offense on the field.
Not really in field goal range, and if you punt the ball from here and it goes into the end zone, it would really work as a 3-yard punt, so not worth not going for it. They're going to try to throw it on 4th down. Pressure in the quarterback's face. He throws. It's caught. It is short of the end zone, but they pick up the first down. It'll be 1st and goal as Veliska makes a big catch.
What a great design on that one. Tool rolling near side. Then you get single coverage on the little post coming across the middle of the field and just puts that ball on the money to Veliska. Veliska does a great job going down to the field to make sure he secures the catch. He doesn't think about what I can get after it. He wants to secure that catch first at any means necessary.
Julio still in there. It's 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. They work out of the shotgun again. Trying to go up 2 scores. They hand it off. Immediately hit in the backfield. Logan Peters was the first guy on him, and they'll lose 1.
Yeah, Logan Peters, one of the leaders on this Hobart defense, did a great job of busting through from his defensive end spot.
Clock churning here, under 8 minutes to play in the second quarter. Hanover trying to go up 2 scores. Seeing how much they can take advantage of a stagnant Bricky offense. 2nd down and goal from the 2-yard line. It's another run. Julio right up the middle, trying to dive into the pile. He'll be short a bit. But he picks up about 1.5 yards. It'll be 3rd and goal from the half-yard line.
Same thing, 2 plays in a row. Go make this 4-down territory. Although, it's going to be shorter than an extra point, but when you got about 6 inches to go, it's hard to settle for the field goal. Just run the ball up the middle 2 more times. You should be able to get it in, if not here.
Lehman, the blocker, out of the slot in the left side of the formation. It's a play-action pass. They flip it to him, almost intercepted. Lehman was open, coming right across the top near the goal line, but the pass nearly went to the defenders instead.
Yeah, I don't like the play call. Too many things can go wrong there. Yes, a pass on the money, and that's completed. But, that ball is inside the 1-yard line. You can't run the ball 2 times in a row and get in, and I don't like the going for the field goal here either.
Logan Zills is on. It's a chip shot field goal, pretty much a point after attempt, and he is perfect on it. It makes it a 9-0 lead for Hanover Central here at home with 6:50 to go in the second quarter.
Ever considered becoming an iron worker? Local 395 is now accepting applications for their apprenticeship program. Go to ironworkers395.com. Look under the training section, click on apprenticeship, and scroll down to the application. You must be 18 years old, have a high school diploma or GED, and you must be physically able to perform the work of the trade. Find out more by calling the apprenticeship school in Lake Station at 219-962-7675 or visit ironworkers395.com.
Field goal from Logan Sills of 19 yards. Hanover Central up 9-0. A touchdown, a missed PAT, and then the field goal knocked through by Sills from what would basically be an extra point at the high school level. So they have their 2-score lead, though, Tim Fendley, but you thought maybe they might be a bit more aggressive and go for it.
Yeah, I wanted to wrap up my thought on that. Of course, I think from the inside the 1 yard line, if you run the ball on 3rd down and 4th down, there's no doubt in my mind, even against the stout Hobart defense.
Tolliver trying to change the game in the kick return. It's a really nice job by him to the 38-yard line, but this offense goes back to work. And again, finish your thought. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought we might have something big there, so I wanted to get out of the way. But, yeah, there was no doubt in my mind that I thought they could have got in, and, you know, I probably would have gone for it on the ground on 4th down, just run the ball up the middle. However, what you said coming back, they got their 2-score lead, and you're going against a Hobart offense that has not proven to really be able to put any points on the board unless they've been given a very short field the last 2 weeks. So Coach Bartolomeo is thinking, hey, we get up 2 scores here, that might be just enough to get us a victory in this one, the way their defense is playing.
It is a give. This is the 3rd running back that the Brickies have tried. Luke Richardson, as he has spun forward for a gain of 2, just nothing there.
Tackle for the Wildcats. Richardson, the ball carrier for the Brickies.
You know, you wonder how many of these guys got carries throughout the week. And again, I don't know when Aiden Cash was rolled out of this ball game, and Hobart might just be scrambling here at the last minute.
It's another carry here for Richardson. He explodes. Stiff arms into the secondary. Nice run for Richardson. And they'll mark him just short as he did stumble down right before the marker.
Yeah, he's got some good footwork. He's got some speed. You know, this is a good athlete here. Don't know, like I said, how many reps he got at the running back position throughout the week, but he's impressed so far.
They go quickly here on 3rd down. Richardson, nice move. Cuts it back inside. Easily gets the first down. He's into Hanover Central territory on a pickup of 5.
Yeah, he's showing some ability to run the football here. He's showing some good quickness, some good footwork. And these are by far the best runs we've seen all ball game out of Hobart, and maybe some of the best runs we've seen in the last couple weeks.
First down from the Hanover Central 47-yard line. Tatum gives it again. This time the Wildcats all over it, and Richardson is going to lose 2.
Yeah, big James Tarzan swallowed him up right at the line, or beyond the line of scrimmage.
So a couple of nice runs in a row, and then one for a negative of 2 yards here. Kind of takes you back off schedule, and that's been the biggest problem for this Bricky offense. They cannot stay on schedule. The running game non-existent for the most part. On 2nd down, it's a play action, and the quarterback, will take off himself with blockers. Tatum, his best run in quite some time. Alex Tatum has the first down across the 35-yard line, and he picks up about 15 yards on the play.
And there needs to be more of that. We need to see a lot more of Tatum calling his own number, or if it's the read option, him pulling it out a lot more, because he's capable of doing that a lot.
Hanover Central timeout. Defensive staff didn't like where this drive was headed. 4:47 left in the second.
Ever considered becoming Becoming an iron worker, Local 395 is now accepting applications for their apprenticeship program. Go to ironworkers395.com. Look under the training section, click on apprenticeship, and scroll down to the application. You must be 18 years old, have a high school diploma or GED, and you must be physically able to perform the work of the trade. Find out more by calling the apprenticeship school in Lake Station at 219-962-7675 or visit ironworkers395.com.
Bricky's quickly out of that timeout, and a screen pass intended for Tolliver, incomplete, a little bit low form. So 2nd down and 10. Hanover Central calling that timeout to make sure they're on the same page defensively. And this is by far the best Bricky drive so far of this game. Tatum ready on a 2nd down play. Calls his own number again. Tatum galloping near that 1st down marker, and he is going to have it. 10 yards on the pickup, and Alex Tatum has carried on 2 of the last 3 plays, and they've both been for 1st downs.
Well, this is what we need to see. We need to see more running the football out of Tatum, and the Richardson coming in there and running the football himself is obviously helping his cause a little bit because now the defense has to key on 2 different guys.
It's another 1st down run. And a flag comes in late. As Richardson has a nice pickup for now. We'll see what the marker's about.
Maybe a face mask. Could possibly be in the area of a hold also, but threw it right at the point of tackle, so I'm guessing it's going to be a face mask. The question's going to be, is it a 5 or a 15-yarder? But, this Luke Richardson has really come in here and has impressed, as it's going to be a 5-yard face mask. But he's very quick, he's elusive, he has great footwork, he hits those holes hard, he falls forward. All the things that you want out of a running back, Richardson's doing that right now.
So between the run and the penalty, it's good enough for a 1st down. And another timeout coming here for Hanover Central. That's 2 on defense they've used here in the 2nd quarter.
Like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and the last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Hobart trying to get back into this ballgame. The offense finally starting to churn a little bit here as they are inside the 15-yard line. And on a 1st down, it is a run for Tatum. He explodes up the middle, and Tatum is going to have a really solid pickup on 1st down. It'll be a couple of yards short.
And what I like about the quarterback running the football is you get an extra blocker. And you saw it right there. He had everyone at the line of scrimmage, 2 backs in front of him. And if the quarterback's running it, now all of a sudden you've evened out that disadvantage that you had a little bit.
Got to the line quickly here, and the pile being pushed, and it's a touchdown. Alex Tatum, who has not run the football very much, especially a few weeks ago against Andre, and they utilized his legs here on this drive, and he is in for 6.
I think maybe they threw the ball one time. It was an incomplete pass on that drive attempted for Tolliver when they tried to go out into the flat. Other than that, Luke Richardson comes on, sparks this offense initially with some hard running, and then Tatum takes over from about the 40-yard line on. And Hobart, maybe they have found something here late in the 1st half.
So it's an extra point attempt, trying to make it a 2-point game here for the Brickies. It is Janda, and his PAT is good. So Hobart finally has a score, and it's their offense who does it the entire way. It's a 90-yard touchdown drive finished off by Alex Tatum.
High school and starting college is a big milestone. New gadgets, new friends, and a whole new chapter in life. But before you head to campus, there's one important step you shouldn't skip: reviewing your insurance coverage. If you're living away from home, your parents' policy may only cover you partially, or not at all. With years of trusted service right here in Schererville, Mackey Insurance Group is committed to keeping you safe and informed, whether you're on the road or planning your next adventure. Call us at 219-440-2021 or visit MackeyINSGroup.com to learn more.
Hello again, everybody. This is Matt Maloney of the Matt Maloney Real Estate Group, powered by Keller Williams of Northwest Indiana. The region is a beautiful place to live, and I've soared to new heights to market your listing to the best and widest possible audience. Call me today at 219-301-0477 or visit mattmaloneyrealtor.com and let's get started. It's not Maloney, I'm Matt Maloney.
Alex Tatum into the end zone. The Brickies really had to have it. It felt like they're not their season necessarily slipping away, but they had lost 2 in a row, down 9-0 here, and the offense just unable to move the football, and they respond beautifully with a 90-yard touchdown drive, and it was something I think they were trying to, best guess has to be right, they were trying to protect Tatum. He's been banged up all season, and we just can't put him in harm's way, but you get to a point where even the quarterback's probably like, you know what, we got to try it, and his legs helped them get into the end zone, and we'll see how much more they try to put on number 2. Pretty good return here as Lincoln Zerby to the 36-yard line, and that's where Hanover Central starts with 3:38 left before halftime.
You know, every year we're adding something to this, these high school broadcasts here on the JED TV Sports Network, but you know, we don't always get the information that you get at the NFL level or the college level to know about all the injuries, know about everything that's going on throughout the week. So we don't know exactly, you know, the condition of Tatum and what he's been going through all year to explain why he hasn't run the football more or more effectiveness. And if it was them nursing injuries and him being banged up, you know, he's showing that he's close to 100% on that last drive. That's a huge spark for this Hobart football team. That's just what they needed.
Quick pass here for Toole. It's Lehman, and again, good run after the catch. He got away from would-be tackler and takes it across the 40-yard line for a 7-yard pickup.
Yeah, Lehman's so good out in that area, catching the ball on the perimeter and then trying to get him going one-on-one. Good open field tackle out there for Hobart, holding that to about a 5-yard gain. So we'll see how aggressive Hanover wants to be here. I believe they just have the one timeout. But many ways to stop the clock on offense.
Used 2 defensively on that last drive. On second down, it is a run for Bikeman. He's got nothing. Tackled back at the line of scrimmage, and you have to wonder maybe if Coach Schreiber might think about calling a timeout. He doesn't here, but if they get a stop on third, I imagine he might.
That's a big tackle there by Preston Perez. He was all over Bikeman. But yeah, I agree with it. If you get a stop here, especially at the line of scrimmage, or even anything short of a first down, burn a timeout, because you got all 3 left, and you got a lot of momentum going offensively.
3rd down and 5 for Toole. He wants to throw it. Scrambles to his right, throws on the run. That is out of the reach of his intended receiver. And incomplete for Andrejevic.
And he was there. He ran a nice little out pattern there. If that ball could have been a little more on the money, it kind of drifted on Toole going to the sideline. So how about that? 3 and out. Hobart doesn't have to burn a timeout there after the 3rd down play. So clock is stopped. Hobart's going to get the football back with about 2:15 to go. And, you know, if I'm Hobart, I keep the ball on the ground. You know, you don't need to get aggressive throwing the ball. Take it when it's there, but be very aggressive with Tatum and see if he can pick up something big for you moving down the field. And please give Richardson another opportunity.
Returnable here for Tolliver as he is dancing out of bounds at his own sideline, and now a marker comes from behind. And almost a guarantee this will be a holding. Right now they're at the 30-yard line, and so they're going to be moving back a bit. But one note to think about, if they do get into position like Desiderio for Hanover Central, only a field goal made max distance for Peter Janda, 26 yards this year. So You have to go quite a way at that point if you're Hobart. But if you do score in any capacity here, you do have the lead all of a sudden in the game. You felt like Hanover had controlled for the entire half.
I think I saw a second flag come in late, which probably will be a sideline warning based on where it came from and how late it came. So we're going to get a sideline warning against Hobart. That's going to be their first. That's not going to be any yardage. And then it's going to be the hold against Hobart, which will set them back. Which shouldn't change how aggressive they planned on being on this drive. I don't come out slinging the ball downfield if that's what was going to be the plan initially. So was that was unsportsmanlike then. That wasn't a sideline warning, if I'm not mistaken.
2 penalties on the play, 1 declined, 1 accepted.
Either way, start at the 10-yard line, run the football. I'd see if Tatum can break something big and see how aggressive you want to be, whether or not you want to use your timeouts, or Luke Richardson and see if he can spark you.
Tatum fakes it for Richardson, keeps it himself, and he's got running room up the middle. First down and more here for Alex Tatum to the 25.
Let's go completing the tackle for the Wildcats. Tatum with the keep for the Brickies.
That's exactly what you want on first down. Clock stops, gets set. Good job by Tatum as he went and found the official right away. Made sure he handed the ball to the official so they didn't waste any time.
2 minutes still left in this first half. This one's a give for Richardson. Tries the right side of the formation. He tried to bounce it back into the middle. He picks up 4 yards to the 29-yard line. 1:50 to go in the first half.
Good job getting through the line of scrimmage, which they weren't able to do. So difficult to get by these linebackers. It was Zerby there, but Zerby, Hazley, Kopech, that's 3 of the best linebackers you're going to find in the region.
On second down, Tatum fakes the run, now throws out complete for Miller. He doesn't have much. Picks up 4 yards. He's short of the marker. It's 3rd and 1, and the clock now ticking under 90 seconds.
Great tackle by Andrejevic, getting in there, wrapping up right away, making sure he can't pick up any more yards. Clock's still ticking. 3 timeouts in the pocket, but I think he wants to make sure Coach Schreiber he gets a first down, and then he'll start burning them.
Alex Tatum takes the shotgun snap, fakes it for Richardson, holds on to it himself. Tatum exploding again into the secondary and finally dragged down across his own 45-yard line. That's a first down run for him.
Andrejevic holding on for dear life. Big tackle by Boswell as well. But, I mean, Tatum's picking up 6-7 yards easy every time he calls his number up the middle. Hanover hasn't found a way to stop him yet.
Now 1 minute to play and ticking on first down for Tatum. Looking right, going to take a shot down the field, looking for Tolliver. He could not pull it in. Not sure he would have had any feet in. Again, good coverage as Jacob Furco has done an outstanding job. Obviously, he's got a touchdown reception, but also has done a great job in coverage, say, defensively. And for Hobart, some really bad news as Tolliver is down, out of bounds, but unable to get to his feet for now.
Unless it was a shoulder injury, maybe hopefully he just knocked, got the wind knocked out of him, but he kind of came down funny perhaps on the shoulder or maybe the wrist area on that one. So we'll have to wait and see as he's in some pain.
There's also a flag on the play as it's an illegal shift. And I think they were trying to ask Tony Bartolomeo if he wanted to accept that or not, and the answer becomes yes. They're going to back this up to the 40-yard line as they are still keeping an eye on Bryce Tolliver over there. They're going to say he's far enough out of play, or one of the side judges, I think Coach Schreiber just became aware of what's going on. He's going to go down there. We're going to step aside momentarily with 54 seconds left in the first half.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowd Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowd Companies, insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
As days go by, the most important people in your life are here, now and always, to watch you grow, support you through the ups and downs, and to reach your goals. Trust People's Bank to be one of those relationships, guiding you through life's special moments, each event with their own financial need and desire. As you move forward, we remain by your side, a reliable partner in days gone by and in the future. People's Bank. Better banking keeps moving forward.
Bryce Tolliver able to get to his feet and get back off completely to the sideline after the illegal shift. It is first down and 15 from their own 41-yard line here for Hobart. As Tatum takes the snap, going to take another shot near sideline, looking for Stephen Miller, and that's pulled in. Miller makes the catch. The coverage was outstanding. It looked like there was nowhere to fit the football in against Marsiglio, but he comes down with it, and they are inside the Hanover Central 20-yard line.
We've seen Tatum have some nice throws right on the money that just have not been able, the Hobart receivers, to come up with, and a huge connection there with outstanding coverage, as you said.
Good decision here by Coach Schreiber. He's going to take a timeout. His first, 42 seconds left, and all of a sudden Hobart is rolling offensively in a position to have the lead here before the half.
Plumbers Local 210 is building the future, and we're looking for service plumbers to join our team. Our training center invests nearly $500,000 every year to make sure our members are the best in the industry. From a 5-year apprenticeship and an associate degree at Ivy Tech to ongoing certifications in safety and new technology, our plumbers are trained for excellence. Every member is drug tested and licensed for your safety and peace of mind. When you need plumbing work done, make sure you ask for the license. It's your right to ask.
It's more than just sports. It's pride. It's tradition. It's the region. From the gyms of the PCC to the Friday night lights of the NCC to 19 high schools that represent who we are, the Jed TV Sports Network brings your hometown teams to every screen, live and on demand. Because these moments, they matter. Jed TV Sports Network. Watch where you... Hobart out of their first time out, back on offense here. Richardson in the backfield. Tatum fakes to him, keeps it himself, looking for the near sideline. He's got a great gain. He's inside the 10-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds at the 8-yard line.
2 timeouts left, 8 yards to go. Plenty of time here.
And he's close to the first down marker. Looks like a yard short, so a second down, they can still get that first down. As you just said, 8 yards away from a touchdown. And the clock stopping as Tatum went out of bounds.
Well, this game has really switched the last 3.5 minutes. Tatum just taking over. Look at this formation.
It's a direct snap. Tatum to the house. He's in for the touchdown. And all of a sudden, those legs of Alex Tatum have totally changed this Bricky offense.
I mean, I think there was 9 linemen out there, lining up as fullbacks right behind the line of scrimmage to give those extra blockers. And you call the direct snap, now you got 10 guys blocking against those 11 defenders, where if you turn and hand the ball to the running back, the quarterback's not blocking. So every offensive play is seemingly 9 on 11. You call those direct snaps with the quarterback, you're now evening out things a little bit. And Tatum has just taken this game over with a little spark from Luke Richardson, in the last 3.5-4 minutes of the game or so. And, as we go into the half here, Hanover's going to have a big conversation about what they're going to do defensively to try to slow down Tatum. Because as it looks now, Tatum's going to be able to do this the entire second half. And if Hanover can't keep up offensively, Hobart may end up going away with this one.
Bricky's using their second timeout before the point after attempt. I think they're considering going for 2 here. They're up 4 points right now. And, of course, a 2-point conversion would put them up a touchdown without that extra point. It would be a 6-point game, or you could think about it as 2 field goals for Hanover, and it might be that kind of game. So we'll see what the strategy is here. Looks like they are sending the offense back out there as Tatum.
It's that same formation.
It is. And right now they are totally trusting the legs of their quarterback. And ready to go here. Tatum trying to get in for the 2-point conversion. Stood up near the goal line. Do not think he got there. And the indication is he did not. There is a flag that flies in. Believe this is after the play. We'll hold on here for a moment to get the ruling from the officials. The try is definitely no good. Imagine it's going to have to be an unsportsmanlike or personal foul penalty. And we'll see who it's on. So it is a personal foul, and that goes against Hanover Central. It's going to make it a little bit tougher for them on the kickoff coming up. 30 seconds to play, and all of a sudden, Hobart's out in front, 13-9.
If you're thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or your business has plans to break ground on a new project in 2024, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's best electricians. With IBEW, Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals.
Popa Heating and Cooling is now here to service your area. Since 1968, we have been Northwest Indiana's trusted HVAC experts. Whether it's installing, repairing, or maintaining your heating and cooling systems, our professional and friendly service ensures you stay comfortable year-round. From furnaces and air conditioners to boilers and humidifiers, we handle it all. For tailored maintenance plans, 24/7 emergency response, and premium HVAC solutions, visit popahvac.com or call 219-838-7700.
Alex Tatum has scored twice. His 2 touchdowns are the difference right now. And you go back a bit, you start thinking about Hanover Central settling for that field goal, and they did make it, but the field goal attempt when they had a 4th and goal from about the half-yard line, and kind of did feel like Hobart was really struggling offensively, so just take the points, and all of a sudden this offense has awoken thanks to the legs of their junior quarterback.
Yeah, at the time you thought, hey, make this a 2-score game. Hobart's not doing anything offensively. This should be more than enough. But the Hobart offense has woken up. And yeah, it's been all Tatum, but don't forget about the spark Luke Richardson has given them as well. And then from there, Tatum really started taking over.
Thought maybe the Brickies might consider trying something a little bit interesting there with an onside kick, Worst case scenario, Hanover gets the ball at their own 35, only 1 timeout left, but they just boot it into the end zone, so it'll be Wildcat football at their own 20-yard line.
No timeouts left. 30 seconds. It's going to be very difficult to do anything. Typically in this situation, you run the football on first down or maybe a short little screen, and if you break it and pick up, get a nice chunk play, 20-plus yards, then, the clock would stop, you hustle up, you can kill it, and then maybe take a couple shots, try and get in field goal range. We'll see if that's what Hanover's thinking or if they're just going to come out being more aggressive as the formation, at least initially, would indicate. I don't even see a running back there right now. And it's going to be, looks like they're going to take a knee.
Take us to the half with a 13-9 ball game. And that's where we are headed. So it was Hanover scoring the first 9 points. And then the Brickies respond with 2 touchdowns, both from Alex Tatum, and they score the final 13. They've got that 13-9 advantage here at the break.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
It's more than just a game. It's pride. It's tradition. It's the region. From the Friday night lights of the NCC to the small-town passion of the PCC to 19 high schools that define our communities. The Jed TV Sports Network is your home for local high school sports. Live and on demand on the Jed TV app, Roku, Fire Stick, and JedTV.com. Jed TV Sports Network. 19 schools, 2 conferences, 1 region, 1 place to watch it all.
Life's biggest challenges don't come with a warning. When legal issues arise, whether it's a car accident, personal injury, criminal charge, or representing you before municipal boards, you need a trusted advocate on your side. At Westland & Bennett, we listen first because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
Truck drivers, have you been searching for a more reliable driving job? Get the paychecks and predictability you need as a Schneider driver. Schneider's large selection of driving jobs means you can get the home time that suits your schedule. Choose from daily, weekly, monthly, or sometime in between. Plus, Schneider drivers have access to great benefits with a 401k match and a 24/7 support team. Get the keys to a better driving job. Search openings near you and apply now at schneiderjobs.com.
Popa Heating and Cooling is now here to service your area. Since 1968, we have been Northwest Indiana's trusted HVAC experts. Whether it's installing, repairing, or maintaining your heating and cooling systems, our professional and friendly service ensures you stay comfortable year-round. From furnaces and air conditioners to boilers and humidifiers, we handle it all. For tailored maintenance plans, 24/7 emergency response, and premium HVAC solutions, visit popahvac.com or call 219-838-7700.
Do you like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and the last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
From the gasoline in your car to the jet fuel in the sky, the diesel moving freight, propane warming homes, asphalt paving roads, and petrochemicals for everyday products, we make it all. We're United Steelworkers Local 71, the Local 71 Oil Workers, proud to power Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland, and the Midwest. We're not just refinery workers, we're your neighbors. United Steelworkers Local 71, powering the region because we are the region.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowd Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowd Companies, insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Hello again, everybody. This is Matt Maloney of the Matt Maloney Real Estate Group, powered by Keller Williams of Northwest Indiana. The region is a beautiful place to live, and I've soared to new heights to market your listing to the best and widest possible audience. Call me today at 219-301-0477 or visit mattmaloneyrealtor.com and let's get started. It's not baloney. I'm Matt Maloney.
This weekend, make Doc's Barbecue your home for wall-to-wall football action. Kick things off with Friday Night Lights on JED TV. Roll into a full slate of college football Saturday, and wrap it up with every big play from NFL Sunday, all on the big screen at Doc's. Pair the games with Southern-style hickory-smoked barbecue in a fun, family-friendly atmosphere. Stop by Doc's Smokehouse in Dyer, where football and flavor go hand-in-hand all weekend long.
Get ready for winter with Myers. Right now, schedule your 10-point furnace clean and check for just $89.95. Since 1951, Myers has proudly served Northwest Indiana as a trusted business. With Myers, one call does it all for your HVAC, plumbing, and electrical needs. We are family-owned and headquartered right here in the community, so you can count on fast, reliable service from a team that treats you like family. Don't wait. Call Myers today and make sure your home is ready for winter.
Interesting game we've had so far as we sit here at halftime. Tim Fedler, Sam Michael. It's 13-9. Hobart now on top after they scored back-to-back touchdowns in their final two drives. Hanover Central scored the first 9 points, and including a 35-yard touchdown to start the scoring to Jacob Furco in the first quarter. But Hobart, Tim, all of a sudden it felt like they were just holding back in terms of Alex Tatum, the quarterback, not really running the ball. They couldn't get it going with anybody else, and all of a sudden they unleashed the legs of number 2, and it's led to 2 scoring drives for the visitors.
Yeah, the first thing you say is, where's that been? Where's that been all year long, the last 2 weeks? We didn't see that at all against Andran. Didn't see it at all last week against Lowell, where you see the obvious formations on the touchdown run and then the extra point, when they're really loading up the backfield, getting those extra bigs in there for blockers. But even then, before that, they're spreading the field, and Tatum's calling the zone number. He's busting up the middle. He's getting to the outside. And you have alluded to it, him being beaten up. Maybe he's been a little injured this year, and maybe that's been the case, that why he has had more success coming into the ball game. 48 carries, 271 yards, which is pretty good, but he got nothing the last 2 weeks. So have they finally been able to break through against this Hanover defense, where the running backs weren't able to break through? It took, 3 or 4 different guys running the football before Luke Richardson had some success. But it's been Tatum then after Richardson who's been able to run the ball. So again, the question's going to be moving forward, and we still got a lot of football you have to play. Is it the defense that they're playing that they're able to have more success running the ball, or something else going on, where they're just kind of clicking at the right time?
Yeah, it's so interesting to think that you wouldn't have gone to that well a little bit earlier, especially with the magnitude of the 2 games the past 2 weeks. I don't know health and some of the things that may have factored into that decision. Tatum may have just been healthy enough to say, hey, he can really only play quarterback, so to speak. We can't run him too much, and maybe now a little bit healthier where they feel like that's an option. But I don't know if it got to the point where they were desperate and just had to go to it, or where things are, but we know it's been effective. On the Hanover Central side, they can't really run the football either. The passing game has been the difference, and Jacob Furco had that big passing touchdown. The quick hitters with the run after catch were working early, but those didn't really happen the last couple of drives. So if you're Coach Bartolomeo, where are you trying to get that emphasis back on the offensive side the second half?
Right, we knew the run game was going to be a problem. As good as Hanover's been running the football the last few weeks, Hobart's defense is very stout against the run. Lots been made of, again, by me and others, how Hobart struggles to run the football, but they are great at stopping the run. I want to see Bartolomeo continue to try to go to Bikey, maybe get him to the edge a little bit more. Everything's been turn and handoff up the middle between the tackles. You got to get some quick pitches, maybe get him in motion, or just put him out as a wide receiver and throw him the ball on the perimeter and see if he can go there. I always like moving those backs around, but you said it, they got to find a way to get back to those little quick slants and those posts over the middle, where they were getting their receivers able to catch the ball in space and getting the big yards after the catch. Continue to find different ways to get Lehman the football. Hobart's tightened up on the edges, guarding those receivers as the game has gone on. And, I think more than that, Toole's just been a little off target. He's had some guys open the last couple drives, but he's just misconnecting them. So he just needs to get back, hitting the guys in the chest, getting back to those great throws he had early in the game, those great timing routes when the ball was on his receivers before they even turned around. So just find what worked for you in the first quarter, get back to that, and find different ways to get Biking with the ball, see if you can get him going on the outside.
Looking across the rest of Northwest Indiana, Munster leading Highland 21-0. We're down in Knox tonight as well, where Mr. McLaughlin has put on another show. They've got 40 points only midway through that third quarter, and having an impressive performance there. I think I saw he was on the cover of sports section for Indy Star, or saw him somewhere. He had on one of the either local papers, or I think it was the Star. I have to confirm that. But elsewhere, the Red Devils leading Kankakee Valley 42-0 in that rivalry game. Griffith was up big last week. Check just added a touchdown, now up 42-6 over Westside in that GSSC conference game. And that is the extent of our coverage. We'll get you some other scores as we go along throughout. But Anything surprising you've seen? I saw Maryville was having a battle with Valpo, who's struggled throughout this year. So I know we were talking a bit about Crown Point. They've still been dominant this year, but not quite as dominant. So things gotten interesting. I'm not sure at this point, as you look across the region, who that team is who could make that deep run. Andrean out of this conference at the 2A level probably is as good of a chance as anybody.
Andrean's probably at the top of that list as Maryville leads Valpo 27-21. Valpo's played, some pretty good competition. Yeah, they got some questionable losses in there. But, you look at their, 1-5, 1-4, whatever. What week are we in already? Coming into this week. And it's real surprising when you see Valpo with just one win as the calendar turns to October. But you look at that sectional, and I don't think Valpo is out of contention for righting the ship and winning that sectional. In terms of making a deep run, Andrean's at the top of that list. 4A North is pretty solid, so whoever gets out of that sectional, which looks like it should be between Hobart and Lowell, is going to have a tough road in regional and semi-state. Getting back to McLaughlin, he's one of 3 finalists I think I saw somewhere. I don't know how official that list I read was, but perhaps one of 3 finalists for Mr. Football, coming out of Knox. I think, that'd be tremendous. See what kind of run Knox can make. Lost in semi-state 2 years ago, lost in the regional last year in a heartbreaker. But at the 3A level, you're going to have to run into Fort Wayne Loras at some point. I know, don't look at Loras' record. It doesn't matter in the regular season. That competition they play in Fort Wayne is second only to football in Indianapolis. Sorry, region fans. It's tough football out there, so you can never take a look at that record. You're talking about the region and some of these scores. It's just kind of hard to figure. You're top heavy. Crown Point, so dominant, so good, above everyone else. Even that gap between them and Maryville. And then you look at our rankings, Maryville 2, who beat Andrean pretty good. So there's a pretty good gap between 2 and 3. And then how big's that gap between Andrean and Lowell? We'll find out in a couple weeks. And then there's a big gap. When you get from about 5 top teams in the area and there's gaps between all those numbers, then the gap really extends. And, how good football really is, you just don't know about some of the competition that some of these teams are playing week in, week out. We are definitely top heavy. In the region, at least that's the way it appears.
Yeah, it's a really interesting time in the region, and there's still some good players, don't get me wrong, but I was having a discussion about basketball, too, and it feels like right now the basketball side, boys and girls, but boys for sure, too, is a little bit down, and I was talking with somebody who's familiar with Coach Matt Painter, and he had asked someone who I know is an official, and he said he's seen Coach Painter a few times and said, is there anybody up here? Like, is there any guys worth me recruiting? And Coach Painter told him, or he asked him if he was missing anybody, and Coach was like, I can't find anybody who's able to play at that level. So I think right now we're going through a bit of a lull in Northwest Indiana, though I think, and tough luck for me, right, on the baseball side. I think it's been made up on the baseball side. There's so many guys who can really play and are going to super high levels. So I think that's hit the football side, too.
I've heard you and Jim talk about that a few weeks ago when he was interviewing you. Congratulations on getting the Highland baseball job. I think people don't know that by now. I'm sure everyone does. And,
don't you know who I am?
Jim was talking to you about that and about being the baseball coach of Highland, the competition that you have to go through. And I noticed that last year as I started doing more and more baseball games for Jed TV. It's like every week it's like, this guy's going to Notre Dame. This guy's going, Oklahoma State, or all these 2 or 3 guys, it seems like, going to Notre Dame, and all these top players. And it wasn't always that way. And it's softball, too. All these top players in baseball, softball that you're not getting in football and basketball right now. So, yeah, there is kind of a down, outside of maybe Crown Point. Of course, you have Noah Ehrlich last year. He's now playing in Miami of Ohio. So we still get D1 guys, but not to the extent we're getting in baseball and softball right now.
Gibbs over there as well, going to Bloomington next year. So, Yeah, but it's not as many. It kind of feels like we're not able to stack up. Even if you've got a handful too, you look at some of the teams down there and you see 5, 6, 7, or 8 guys on a team who are headed to Division I, and we're talking the Power 4 schools as well. We'll come back and we'll have the second half for you. It'll be Hanover Central football. Hobart on top here at the break, 13-9.
And Cooling is now here to service your area. Since 1968, we have been Northwest Indiana's trusted HVAC experts. Whether it's installing, repairing, or maintaining your heating and cooling systems, our professional and friendly service ensures you stay comfortable year-round. From furnaces and air conditioners to boilers and humidifiers, we handle it all. For tailored maintenance plans, 24/7 emergency response, and premium HVAC solutions, visit popahvac.com or call 219-838-7700.
Tech Credit Union supports the essential role of union labor in building strong communities. That's why we offer hassle-free banking, financial empowerment, and a commitment to your success. Save for the future, handle life's challenges, and trust a partner that stands by hardworking union members. Tech Credit Union, the better option for you and your money. Visit techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union, supporting union families every step of the way.
Are you searching for a college where you belong? Calumet College of St. Joseph wants to know you and give you the support you need to succeed. Are you worried about how you'll pay for your degree? 95% of our students receive financial aid, including scholarships and grants. Need some extra help with your classes? You'll benefit from our small class sizes, free tutoring, internship planning, faculty mentors, and so much more. Come experience our accepting, supportive college family for yourself. Schedule your campus visit and apply at ccsj.edu.
Powers Health is committed to advancing medical care and technology in our area. Cancer research and clinical trials so you can explore new horizons. Heart care expertise with a collaborative team of specialists so you can create more memories together. Northwest Indiana's only certified comprehensive stroke center so you can cover new ground. When it comes to advanced care, look no further. Everything we do, everything we believe, powers health.
Opportunities are everywhere, even right around the corner. That's where you'll find Horizon Bank, going beyond to make a difference in our community. Whether you're starting a business or a family, expanding your kitchen or your customer base, drop by and see us for friendly service, local expertise, and solid financial advice. Horizon Bank, beyond ordinary banking. Learn more at horizonbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
From the gasoline in your car to the jet fuel in the sky, the diesel moving freight, propane warming homes, asphalt paving roads, and petrochemicals for everyday products, we make it all. We're United Steelworkers Local 7-1, the Local 7-1 Oil Workers, proud to power Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland, and the Midwest. We're not just refinery workers, we're your neighbors. United Steelworkers Local 7-1, powering the region because we are the region.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
As days go by, the most important people in your life are here, now and always, to watch you grow, support you through the ups and downs, and to reach your goals. Trust People's Bank to be one of those relationships, guiding you through life's special moments, each event with their own financial need and desire. As you move forward, we remain by your side, a reliable partner in days gone by and in the future. People's Bank. Better banking keeps moving forward.
Want your brand in front of thousands of loyal local fans every week? The Jed TV Sports Network broadcasts over 1,000 games a year across the NCC network, the PCC network, and 19 high school partners throughout Northwest Indiana. From in-game sponsorships to commercial spots and digital branding, your message hits home, right where your customers live, work, and cheer. Jed TV Sports Network, where local sports meet regional impact.
Hello again, everybody. everybody. This is Matt Maloney of the Matt Maloney Real Estate Group, powered by Keller Williams of Northwest Indiana. The region is a beautiful place to live, and I've soared to new heights to market your listing to the best and widest possible audience. Call me today at 219-301-0477 or visit mattmaloneyrealtor.com and let's get started. It's not baloney, I'm Matt Maloney.
If you're thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or your business has plans to break ground on a new project in 2024, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's best electricians. With IBEW, Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals.
Hobart's got the lead. It's going to be Hanover Central football here. Once we come fully out of this halftime break, it's a 13-9 lead for the Brickies. In case you just joined us, Tim Fedler, Sam Michael, Nick Hedrick, and our crew here with us from the Wildcat Den. And we're going to see this Hanover Central offense start the second half with the football. So some of those adjustments, they'll have an opportunity to do it. Don't have to wait and get that defensive stop to try to turn momentum back. They get an opportunity to go out there. The quarterback has looked pretty good today. The running game not really been effective in any way, shape, or form. I think their best runs are 4 or 5 yards. But they've got to get something going. All of a sudden, we're talking about Hanover Central's offense being a bit stagnant here.
Yeah, but Hanover dominated that football game till about, the 5-minute mark of the second quarter. So if they can find a way to, stop Tatum, and it may look like a small thing, but a lot of momentum stopping that 2-point conversion, which maybe that gave them something to talk about, something they did in that 2-point conversion that they found that maybe they can stop Tatum. I know it was just one play, but sometimes that's all it takes. Hanover just needs to get back offensively, doing what they did to start the ball game, hitting those timing routes. The trips formations were very good when they were sending, 2 guys deep and one guy was, dropping down, just inside the defense, getting some nice completions, finding ways to get the ball to Lehman. And, as I said at the half, find different, ways for Bikema to get going in the run game. Like to see him get to the outside a little bit more. But when Hanover brought in Giglio, he did a nice job, pushing forward for 3 or 4 yards or so also. So maybe that's the answer. It's more Giglio up the middle, Bikema around the edge. But, I haven't seen Bikema run outside the tackles very often. And now I think this is the 3rd game I've had Hanover this year. So, maybe that's just not in the playbook for Hanover.
For Hobart, as we said, it was Alex Tatum who got things going. 2 touchdowns, and he set them both up as well with his legs. So we'll see how much they want to go to the well here in the second half. Their defense finally getting a bit of a breather. They weren't on the field a lot late in the second quarter, and obviously had the entire halftime to get themselves collected. So a defense that has been really good, was bending a little bit early, never completely broke, and gave their offense enough of a chance to not only get back into the game, but find themselves with, depending on your perspective, maybe a surprising lead here to start this 3rd quarter of play. And we will see who has the advantage as we welcome everybody who's joined us on our radio side as well. In case you're just tuning in, it's a 13-9 Hobart's advantage here at halftime. 3rd quarter about to start here just momentarily.
We've seen some great special teams work. I don't think I've talked about enough. The punters have been tremendous in this game. On both teams, we saw Hobart get pinned inside their 10-yard line a couple times. Hanover the same, and both teams on the flip side were able to get some nice long drives going. Hanover had their long touchdown scoring drive. Hobart had one as well. So both teams were able to respond from it. But the special teams have done a good job trying to pin the opponent deep, and the defense is just haven't really, in a couple of those situations, been able to force the deep punt. Like the one time Hobart had to punt from deep in their own end zone. It gave Hanover a short field, but So special teams has been big, and we'll see if that continues to come up big and make a difference here in the second half.
13-9 Brickies. Hanover, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Hanover going to kick it away, and Hobart is going to start the second half, so they can be a little bit aggressive in trying to add on here in this second half of play. And then we'll see that Hanover offense if they can get a stop, or we'll see it either way, whether they get up a touchdown or not, but it will be a chance to get back into this ball game, and Hobart trying to add to it. This one kicked away, second half underway. Returnable here for Tolliver inside his 5-yard line. He's had a couple of nice returns, but this one is covered up really well, just across the 20-yard line. And he has a 17-yard return to the 22.
Sorry if you look down at my roster, I wrote that Hobart kicked the ball as well to start the ball game, so I must have jotted that down the wrong way. I can't even remember now. I do believe Hobart did start with the football as I'm picturing that first drive, the first play. I have seen it before, though. Very rare. It was a very windy game. I seen one team. It was actually Highland Lowell in 1999 when Highland kicked off both halves. It was a sectional championship matchup, I believe. Highland kicked off to start both halves, so very rare occasion.
First play starts with a run to the outside, and that Hobart running game is getting going as Richardson's got a first down on the very first play of the second half.
Yeah, Luke Richardson came in at that time when Hobart got the momentum going, about 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. And it started with Luke Richardson getting some nice runs, and then Tatum really rode that momentum after it.
On first down, just across the 30-yard line. Tatum looking to throw, fires, that's tipped up, and then it's caught by Stephen Miller. There was a lot of jerseys around there that could have been intercepted. Instead, it turns into a catch off the hands of Subchinski to Miller.
Andrejevic jumped that route, was looking for a pick six if he could have hauled that one in, and Miller just in the right spot.
It turns into a 6-yard gain to the 37-yard line. And so it keeps the Brickies on schedule here on second down. It's a give for Richardson. Waits for the hole up the middle. He saw a bit of an opening, but not enough. He's got a 3-yard gain to the 40, a yard short of the first.
Got a nice lead block from Peters. And, that's a nice adjustment for Hobart. As they've really gone a lot bigger. These jumbo packages to help with the run game, bringing the extra guys in there, where they have been running the ball the last couple weeks more out of the spread. They're bringing more guys in to help block.
Third down and short. They will try Richardson. Cuts it back inside. Good run for him. Thought about kicking it outside the numbers. Instead, knowing he just needed a yard, he picks up 3.
Yeah, he made a nice job, a nice move there on number 5 for Hanover Central, Boswell, who was closing in, and Richards was able to stop on a dime, turn back middle to pick up that first down.
Back-to-back first downs brought to you by Indiana University Northwest for Hobart to start this drive in the second. It's a run for Tatum here on first down. Tatum lowers the pads a bit. Now hopping up and down as he picks up a couple extra yards after contact. It's a 6-yard run to the 49.
Nice matchup there. Peters going against Zerby. Two great defensive players there. Of course, Peters playing offense as well. Got a big hit on Zerby and sent him to the sideline.
Just on their own side of the field at the Hobart 49. Second down and 4. It's a give for Richardson. He explodes left side, near sideline, running for the first, but there is a flag. Sitting back right on the 5 at the 50-yard line marker, and this almost certainly coming back. It is.
Yeah, a hold there. It's going to take away an explosive run from Richardson, but you see Logan Peters now, playing essentially a fullback back there, but he's getting lined up, right on the tail of, the guard or the tackle. Didn't see exactly where he's lined up, but he's going to be the lead blocker for Richardson or Tatum.
So instead of a first down and being near or just across the Hanover 40, you're all the way back to your own 40-yard line. And it is second down and 14. So Hobart had been doing a great job of staying on schedule. See how they're able to come back here. Tatum rolling to his right, throws. A lot of traffic there, and probably lucky that pass was high. Otherwise, there was a ton of hands. Could have been like the last one, a little tipped completion, but could have gone the other way as well.
Well, you had two receivers run essentially the same route. They ran to the same spot. Miller and Subchinski were within a couple yards of each other, so that obviously is going to bring more defenders to the area. I'm assuming somebody there went to the wrong spot or cut their route off and ended up in the other's way.
Wildcats would love a stop here. 3rd down and long. Tatum. Good chip by Richardson. Now he fires, looking for Tolliver. He almost snagged it. Tried to pull it in with one hand. Some of the folks wanted a holding call. Not going to matter much. It's 4th down, and Hobart's going to kick it away. That's
Hazley, who's been in the backfield all game long, and that was Richardson who got the little chip, maybe a little tug from behind. And it's a great effort there by Tolliver, but could he have reached out with a second hand? You see so many one-hand catches, on Saturday and Sunday, and of course we've seen some great ones here at the high school level as well. Seems like everyone wants to make that great one-handed catch. Could Tolliver have maybe brought his other hand in there and secured that play?
This is returnable. Bonato didn't have anywhere to go, though. Hobart, good coverage. All right where he caught it at the 29. And Hanover will take over now, trailing for the first time today that they've really had an offensive possession. Of course, they did get the ball with 30 seconds, but just kneeled it and went to halftime. So we'll see how they respond here.
Well, when things were going well in the first quarter and the first half of the second quarter, it was run the ball on 1st down, and then it was quick little slants, little mini post, and then especially when they went trips. And we haven't seen that trips formation very much outside the first couple drives, and that's when they ran some very nice stuff that got receivers open, and we're not seeing it here once again.
On 1st down, they try the running game. We saw that early. Bikema, he bounces across the 30, picks up 3.
And that's a nice 1st down carry right there. You'll take 3 yards on 1st down all game long. They got a decent push over on the right side, running behind Tarzan and Belcher. And that's really what they did last week in Munster, is they spent majority of that game running behind those two bigs on the right side.
They give him 4 officially, 2nd down and 6. Brickies do show a little bit of pressure. Intercepted. Subchinski takes it away and in stride of the house.
That's 2 weeks in a row, a pick 6 for Hobart, and that's what this Hobart defense can bring you. Very good athletes there in the defensive backfield, and they read those routes very well. Subchinski, take a look at it here, never took his eyes off the quarterback, off a Toole. He saw that coming the entire way. Wyatt Toole just stared down his receiver. Subchinski did a great job of reading the eyes of the quarterback and strolling into the end zone.
That's 19 unanswered points for the Brickies here, as they will try a little bit unorthodox, going for 2 here, and they think they're in. They are. There was only one official ready for them to go for 2, and that play works. So they've got the traditional 21 points, and they lead it by 12.
Drivers, have you been searching for a more reliable driving job? Get the paychecks and predictability you need as a Schneider driver. Schneider's large selection of driving jobs means you can get the home time that suits your schedule. Choose from daily, weekly, monthly, or sometime in between. Plus, Schneider drivers have access to great benefits with a 401k match and a 24/7 support team. Get the keys to a better driving job. Search openings near you and apply now at schneiderjobs.com.
Powers Health is committed to advancing medical care and technology in our area. Cancer research and clinical trials so you can explore new horizons. Heart care expertise with a collaborative team of specialists so you can create more memories together. Northwest Indiana's only certified comprehensive stroke center so you can cover new ground. When it comes to advanced care, look no further. Everything we do, everything we believe, powers health.
(21-9), Hobart now, 8:43 to play. The pick six from Subchinski. And we'll see if Hanover Central has any sort of response here. Could return across the 35-yard line. Turned in by one of the upbacks.
Andrejevic with the return.
That's Andrejevic who does it. And we'll see here. It's been a pretty good game for Wyatt Toole, but that last pass intercepted, was deflected at the line of scrimmage ever so slightly. And that was enough of a timing difference for Subchinski to stick it and still be able to have enough momentum to roll all the way into the end zone.
I saw him do that last week as well, and that's a young quarterback where he tends to stare down his receivers. And, that's something Coach Bartolomeo will continue to work on him with. If he can just look off the opposite way, even though he knows he's going to throw the ball there, he's got to be able to look off that corner for a split second.
Bykema tripped up in the backfield. He's going to lose a yard. Back to the 35-yard line. They had Bonato coming across in motion. A lot of feats and tacklers in there, and Bykema lost his footing.
Yeah, Hobart's got all the momentum right now. You hear how quiet this place is on the home side for these Hanover fans. Almost feel like it's a dangerous possession here for Hanover. They got to move the ball down the field, get the defense a little bit of a rest.
On second down, they want to take a shot. Looking near side for Furco. Almost had it again. Not sure if Subchinski got a little piece of that. It ultimately hit Furco near the shoulder pads, but it's incomplete either way.
Yeah, it was a little underthrown, so you do get that ball out in front. Furco may have a touchdown. I don't think Subchinski got a hand on the ball. I think the ball hit off the right shoulder pad there of Furco before it hit his hands and bounced back. It was a pretty good throw. I'm not even sure it really was underthrown. Sure, I think he had to slow up a little bit, but, Toole did everything necessary right there to give Hanover an opportunity to score.
That would have been the second time Furco beat Subchinski, and he would have been gone to the house unless he fell. They protect it with the pressure. They're going to try it again. Furco going up. Bobbled I think he's got it. He does. Somehow comes down with the football. Huge play in the passing game.
Yeah, that's called getting mossed right there for Furco. Going up and getting that, a bigger part. Is that Bonato making that catch and, just taking it away, wrestling that ball at the last second there and able to secure that catch. It was definitely bobbling as he was falling to the ground on his back, but was able to secure it. Big play for Hanover.
All the way down to the Bricky 29-yard line. 7.5 to go here in the third quarter. It's a 2-touchdown, 12-point lead for the Brickies on first down. Off play action. Out for Bonato. That was almost intercepted as Subchinski could not snatch it before it grazed the turf.
Yeah, that ball was just put way too out in far of Bonato. Yeah, if that ball was hit him at the line of scrimmage a little more, he would have had to make a guy miss, but he did have a blocker out there and would have had the opportunity for a nice gain. But that was dangerous, nearly picked.
If it was a good pass, Bonato did have some running room. Had a blocker out in front to his left. Maybe could have had a solid gain. Either way, second down and 10 from the Bricky 29-yard line. They swing it out again. That one off the mark, though. Thrown behind Lehman, and after the big play, it's back-to-back incompletions.
That's two in a row. Throwing the ball to the exact same area. The first one was out in front. This one was behind, and it's not giving his receivers any opportunity. You see Lehman do the symbol for settle down, putting his hands, out in front of him, pushing to the ground, talking to his quarterback. You connect with Lehman there, and the way he can run people over, break tackles, that could have been a big game.
You'd have to think it's 4-down territory. So you've got 2 plays to pick up the 10 yards necessary on 3rd and 10. They fake the screen to Lehman, going to throw it downfield. A lot of traffic down there. Subchinski had some help. It was double covered by Terry Irvin, and the pass is incomplete.
He was looking for Resney out there and, throwing that into double coverage well out in front. quarterback to quarterback on that one. And Resnick never had a shot.
So for the first time since his big catch, Furco's back in there, and they are going to go for it here on 4th down. And they do need, of course, all 10 yards here. Pick this up. Didn't do anything on downs 1 through 3, so got to do it all here. 3 receivers in this set. They slide the quarterback left. Going to fire. Throws on time and completes. Right at the first down marker, it's Bonato, and they move the chains.
That's more of those timing routes that we saw executed so well in the first quarter. Bonato ran to the sticks. As soon as he turned around, that ball was on him. It was a great tackle made by Sobczynski, but because of the great pass, the great route by Bonato, he was at the sticks. First down Wildcats.
And we've talked about the quarterback today. He's had some trouble throwing when they've slid the pocket, but that time a beauty.
Well, they are going to measure it, so I jumped the gun a little bit on the first down call.
Well, it's interesting because you measure it, and it is a first, but the official, it would only, well, I guess it would not, you'd stop the clock either way, right? Because it would have been a fourth down. So there goes my argument for a moment, but either way, they're going to move the chains. It is a first, and inside the Tech Credit red zone here for the Wildcats, trying to respond and get this back to a one-score game. So they have the ball at the 18-yard line.
Really nice response here for Wyatt Toole in this Hanover Central offense. After the pick six, momentum, going Hobart's way. Nice drive put together here.
Toole on first down, hands it off for Bykema. Bykema bounces it outside, trying to turn the corner. Bykema in, touchdown.
And that's exactly what I talked about they need to do. And I'm not sure that was a design run to the outside for Bykema. No, he was supposed to go right up the gut, but he has great vision. He had the opportunity to kick it to the outside, and he had the speed to outrun the Hobart defenders to the pylon. But again, that was another run up the middle that Hobart had stopped. That's all Bykema seeing that opportunity to kick it to the outside.
From 18 yards away, he's gotten Hanover Central back into the game. PAT good. Hobart leading by 5.
Life's biggest challenges don't come with a warning. When legal issues arise, whether it's a car accident, personal injury, criminal charge, or representing you before municipal boards, you need a trusted advocate on your side. At Westland & Bennett, we listen first because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
Want to save more on your grocery shopping? Join the Strack & Van Til Rewards program. Earn points on every purchase and watch the savings add up. Get personalized offers based on items you buy most. Clip digital coupons for discounted or free products. Enter sweepstakes and more. Not a member? Sign up now. Membership is free. Scan the code on in-store signage. Download the Strack & Van Til app or visit strackandvantil.com. Life made simple. Savings made easy. It's a Strack & Van Til thing.
Great response here by the Wildcats. They get the touchdown to bring them back within 5. It's still a ton of ball game left. Just under 7 minutes to play here in the third quarter. And this one is turning into a pretty good one. These two teams have played some pretty good games, Tim, the last couple of seasons. And so far, this one has been no exception.
Yeah, these teams have had some outstanding battles since Hanover moved into the NCC. And what you thought, started as a little bit of a down year for Hanover, they've got things going.
Sobczynski still on his feet. Got through some tacklers in the middle. Zill's trying to get to him, and the kicker does a good job to prevent the touchdown. But it's a great return for Sobczynski all the way inside the Hanover 30-yard line.
I mean, if Hobart can get their offense going, more consistent, like they played at the beginning of the year, they really can do it in all three phases. They had the pick six last week that was taken off the board on a holding call. You saw what Sobczynski can do there. The defense, a couple pick sixes on the year, turns the ball over. This is a championship defense and special team unit for sure for Hobart. If they can just get that offense going, it kind of sounds like you're talking about, some of the Bears or Ravens teams throughout the years where can that offense just match what that great defense can do, and this team can make a deep run.
It's Tatum, keeps it himself on first down as he spins into the pile. He's got a 3-yard pickup.
Hasn't called his number. I don't think he called his number on that last drive, and starting to get going here a little bit more. I'd like to see a heavy dose of Tatum here. Let's try and do what you did at the end of the second quarter and just call your number, run behind Peters, and take it all the way in the end zone.
Wildcats trying to see if they can force a potential field goal attempt. We'll keep it a 1-score game. Touchdown makes it a 2-score game again. Tatum looking to his right. He's going to take a shot into the end zone. Miller going up.
It's an intercepted. The official came in indicating a touchback. Didn't he?
He did. What just happened? That's a touchdown. Okay.
Okay.
I lost my mind for a moment. Stephen Miller's got a touchdown from 23 yards out.
That's what I thought happened, but the official came in and gave the sign. You see it right there, indicating touchback. So I thought somehow Hanover came up with an amazing interception, but all right. We got it right.
Janda on for the point after. Quick response from the Brickies. Set up by Subchinski. They've got a Westland and Bennett touchdown, and the PAT from Janda is good. So the Brickies right back up 2 scores, 28-16. Tech Credit Union supports the essential role of union labor in building strong communities. That's why we offer hassle-free banking, financial empowerment, and a commitment to your success. Save for the future, handle life's challenges, and trust a partner that stands by hardworking union members. Tech Credit Union, the better option for you and your money. Visit techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union, supporting union families every step of the way.
Get ready for winter with Myers. Right now, schedule your 10-point furnace clean and check for just $89.95. Since 1951, Myers has proudly served Northwest Indiana as a trusted business. With Myers, one call does it all for your HVAC, plumbing, and electrical needs. We are family-owned and headquartered right here in the community, so you can count on fast, reliable service from a team that treats you like family. Don't wait. Call Myers today and make sure your home is ready for winter.
Quick response from this Bricky offense. It's a touchdown pass to Stephen Miller, 23 yards away. First score they've had. That has been in the air. The rest had been on the ground or through their defensive efforts on a pick 6 from Subchinski. And speaking of him, he's the guy, of course, who set it up on the great kickoff return. So all of a sudden, Hobart scoring at will, but that is not going to help things as the kickoff goes out of bounds. And that is going to bring the ball up to the 35-yard line here for Hanover Central. So they'll have the ball with decent field position and see if they can respond again.
Hey, you get color guys stepping on play-by-play guys' calls from time to time, but rarely an official.
Right.
And he's indicating touchback, and you're trying to, make your call and not sure what's going on.
Yeah, I was sure it was a touchdown, and then I happened to see the back judge come in with that signal. I'm like, wait, did I miss something?
Had me fooled.
Hesitation, never good. That's why I tell our guys in coaching baseball, hesitation is not a good thing when it comes to athletics for anybody. Players, coaches, officials, broadcasters, it doesn't matter. You don't sound good, you don't look good when you hesitate. So thanks a lot for that, but here we are. Hanover Central 1st and 10 from their own 35. It starts with a Bikema run, and he is stood up again at the line of scrimmage and going nowhere.
Bikema ball carrier for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and that's been the story. That last touchdown run, he was able to bounce to the outside, but up till that point, Hobart's done a great job of not allowing Bikema to get to the outside, because if it's there, he'll find it. He's got great vision and great footwork, but Hobart's doing a great job at the edges. You got Eck and Peters staying at home.
And without one of their normal edges in Aiden Cash, wide open, Bonato makes the catch. Still on his feet across midfield, and now sneaks out of bounds. And I'll tell you what, if Bonato would have spun himself out there. Might have got a late hit call as well, but a big pickup either way.
You know what gets fascinating at the high school level you see out here is these great matchups we're seeing between receivers and DBs are happening on both sides of the field. You got these Hanover receivers are also the Hanover defensive backs. The Hobart defensive backs right now are also their go-to receivers. So these guys are going against each other all game long. It's like basketball. You're playing offense and defense. You got to stop them, and then you got to get the opportunity to make a play offensively on them as well.
Bikema gets the handoff. Ran into the back of one of his offensive linemen. Now he is whipped backwards, and they stop him with forward progress after a pickup of 1.
He tried to get to the outside and looked like it was there until Eck bear hugged him from behind and said, "No, you're going to stay right here."
Second down and 9, just inside the Bricky 40-yard line.
And you talk about the story, Hunter, can he play both ways for Jacksonville? And I would love to see that more and more. I know it's so hard to do at that level, but seeing these matchups where the receivers and DBs, they're playing both ways is fascinating.
Quick pass complete to Lehman. Lehman, good block from Bonato, and Lehman diving. He'll be near the marker. And that spot will have him a yard short. Good pickup on 2nd and 9.
You get 6'4", 225 going forward. He's going to run people over. He's going to fall forward. He gets an extra, 2 yards every time he falls forward anyway. So, that's the big man you want to get the ball to with room to run.
3rd down and short as we just crossed the 4-minute mark. Right at the Bricky 30-yard line. They need the 29 to move the chains again. And I imagine they'd go for it if they're stood up here on 3rd and 1. 3 receivers on the bottom of the screen. And they're going to go that way. Quick pass, complete. Lehman, but they're on him quickly. Good tackle. It's a great job by Vontrell Jones, who stepped up to knock him backwards.
And you got to be. That ball took a little long to get out there, but you got to be on him in a hurry, because if he's able to square up and get some momentum going, and he gets up limping a little bit, and that's not what you want to see if you're a Hanover Central fan.
Brickies are trying to get off the field and get a stop. Hanover trying to pick this up. Went from 3rd and 1 to 4th and 3. Feels like a huge point in this ball game on both sides. Toole wants to throw. Looks left, comes back right, throws completes. It is a first down, out of bounds. Furco, his reliable target, able to move the chains.
Yeah, nice little timing route. Work it against Miles White out there on the edge. Turns around, and the ball's on him right away.
Great delivery there by Wyatt Toole. He's had a really nice game. One blemish, of course, was one he'd like to have back. A pick 6 turned in by Subchinski. Otherwise, he has spread it around. His receivers have made plays after the catch. It's been tough sledding for the running game today, so it's been a lot on the quarterback. They do try the running game on 1st and 10 at Bikema. Got his helmet knocked off. Nice tackle by Alex Otero.
Yeah, he came in high, I don't know if that's one you take a look at the college level. Yeah, possibly. It's one if we slowed it down a little bit. Looks like he may have led with the crown a little bit. And yeah, it takes something like that to knock a helmet off. Those things just don't come off easy. But no call here, and big 2nd down play here for Hanover to make this thing 3rd and short in what should be 4-down territory.
2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. That play officially goes for a loss of 1, and now Tony Bartolomeo wants a timeout. Big drive for Hanover Central. 1:57 on the clock in the 3rd quarter.
You can pick 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. Let's see how that compares to some other options that are about $6.99. $6.99? $6.99. $6.99? $6.99. Yeah. Order any 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. Only at Domino's.
This broadcast on the JED TV Sports Network is brought to you by Central Midwest Carpenters. Build your next chapter. Domino's. Get the door. It's Domino's. Popa Heating and Cooling. Stay comfortable year-round. Powers Health. Everything we do, everything we believe. Strachan Van Til. Indiana made. LiUNA. Feel the power. People's Bank, you first banking. And Westland and Bennett, goal-oriented legal solutions you can trust. Huge second down, huge drive for Hanover Central here. 2nd and 11, and out of the timeout. That is not what you want, as a false start is going to make it a bit tougher.
No, that will drive a coach absolutely nuts. Coming out of a timeout, procedure penalty, a delay game, any of those things, and you get the false start here. So the 2nd and 12 is going to become 2nd and 17. And again, you're going to have to look at this as you got 3 downs to pick up the 17 yards here. Don't think they're going to be in range to even attempt a field goal. And I don't think it's going to make a whole lot of sense. Yeah. It does nothing for you.
Still plenty of time left in the game, but all of a sudden these teams went from a defensive struggle to going up and down the field and scoring touchdowns, at least so far here in the second half. On 2nd and long, Toole looking. Going to take a one-on-one shot. Great play on the ball, and it's intercepted. Tolliver was in front, stride for stride with Furco, and it's the 2nd INT delivered by Hobart's defense.
Hey, great job by Tolliver. It was great coverage, and he caught a ball that was thrown right at him. But one, again, staring down the receiver the entire time for Toole. It's a ball that should have never been thrown, but if you're going to throw it, it can't be a line drive. He needs to get more air under that ball. Throw it out in front. Give his receiver a chance to make a play. But telegraphing it and then throwing the line drive, there was just never a chance for that to be completed. And now Hobart an opportunity. If they can march downfield and put this one in the end zone, that might be all she wrote here from Hanover tonight.
And this offense is all of a sudden rolling. They have scored on 3 straight possessions. And this one starts with a Richardson handoff, and they stand it up nicely. This will go for a 1-yard loss.
Looks like the bridge might be painted red tonight.
Mm-hmm. It'll be back-to-back seasons after Highland had won 5 straight. Looks like the bridge may be red for a little bit here. They're starting to turn the corner. Coach St. Louis is doing a good job there. They've been in some games this year that I think some people were surprised by, which that's the first thing that starts happening, right? When you turn the corner, you're in a couple of games where people are like, oh, I didn't know that Munster could play with them. And pretty soon you start winning some of those games. That's when you really turn. Tatum going to throw here on 2nd down. He's protected well, throws right very high and incomplete.
Had Miller at the hash is a 25-yard line. Probably should have dumped the ball in there. But yeah, it's, you hear it talked about all the time, learning how to win. First you just need to compete. Just 2 years ago, or at the beginning of the year last year, Munster, it's been highly talked about. Didn't score a point the first 4 weeks of the season. Then they competed more at the end of the year last year. This year, they've competed quite a bit. They played Andran 3 weeks ago. That score was 7-7 with 2 minutes to play in the first half before Andran went up. And Andran only won that game 21-7. So now you're competing, and now it's learning how to win. And that's going to be the next step for Munster, especially in those close games. Coach St. Louis done a great job there now in the second year.
On 3rd and long. Again, they protect Tatum well. Still on his feet. Wants to throw it, nowhere to go. Instead, just goes out of bounds. Maybe a yard or two for Tatum, but no chance to go for this deep in your own territory. Good stand by the Hanover Central defense.
And anytime you roll out, you cut the field in half. Miller came over late, but initially there was only 1 receiver over there. And Hanover did a good job of extending that. They had a nice wall defensively where they didn't give Tatum any room if Tatum wanted to tuck and turn and, run up the field. So great job by Hanover getting a stop here and not letting Hobart go down the field after that latest interception.
Bonato trying to make it happen in the kick return game. Comes over, calls a fair catch at the Bricky 45-yard line. Makes it there, and that's where Hanover's got the ball. So after the interception, the defense still keeps him in the ball game here, and 52 seconds left in the third quarter.
Bonato learning his lesson after not calling fair catch last week against Munster. If you saw, big hit delivered by Zion Richards. Sure, I think we said at the time, he's not going to make that mistake twice. But, Zion Richards was delivering some big hits all over that field, as we wrap up the conversation on Munster. They got some seniors making, some impact this year that they're going to have to replace. Of course, their quarterback. But, Coach St. Louis just brought him in at quarterback this year. Schatzberger wasn't the quarterback as a junior, so I'm sure he's going to be able to plug that in next year, and hopefully Munster can keep that thing going. Good field position here for Hanover. They got to take advantage.
On first down, this drive starts with a run for Bikema, and like a lot of them, not much to work with between the tackles, maybe a yard.
It's got to be very frustrating for him. He probably had an idea. He knows what this Hobart defense is, but coming off of a 200-yard game a week ago against Munster, riding high, it's got to be a little frustrating, but they just got to keep plugging away. And we've seen Coach Bartolomeo has been sticking to the game plan, even now down 12, not panicking, not getting too much of a hurry.
Second down and 9. Ball marked at the 44-yard line of Hobart for Hanover Central, trailing by 12 points. They flare out Bikema. Throw it out to him complete. Trying to get a head full of steam. Spun off one tackle nicely. And is across the 40-yard line on what is the final play of the third quarter. So we head to the fourth. And a good one. Hanover Central trying to make it a one-score game when we come back.
Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today, and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. Liuna's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are Liuna.
Mental Health America of Northwest Indiana has been dedicated to building strong, resilient families in our community. Our focus is on early intervention and prevention, removing barriers to mental health, protecting against trauma, and ensuring every child grows up happy and healthy. Our programs empower individuals of all ages to reach their full potential. We create stronger families, healthier communities, and a brighter future for all. Visit mhanwi.org or follow us, MHANW Indiana, to learn more and support our mission today.
Start of the fourth here from the Wildcat 10. Hanover Central's got the ball at the Hobart 39-yard line. Need the 35 here to convert and move the chains on the 3rd and 4 coming up. But they've stayed in this game. Got off to a great start. Hobart was kind of sleepwalking. It felt like a continuation of their last couple weeks, at least offensively. And then all of a sudden they woke up. But Hanover still in this game. Big third down here to start this fourth quarter. Toole rolls to his left. Going to throw. Over the top. Had a man, but it was just a bit too hot to handle. And Andreevich was the intended receiver. That would have been a touchdown.
Nice little route. Bernardo and Andreevich kind of, X'd each other there. One came in, one went out. Andreevich had a step. And it's kind of been the story of the game when, whether it's been the interceptions on the underthrows, not looking off the safety, or just missing them. And, Toole had an opportunity there and maybe get a little more air under that, and Andreevich can run under it. But big fourth down play now for the Wildcats.
Huge fourth down. Kind of feels like it might be the first of a few. This is for the game almost. Got to convert. Throwing short, incomplete. They covered up the quick curl route intended for Bikema, and it's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, probably rushed that a little bit there. I know he's been doing a good job on those quick timing routes all game long, but this one just felt like it was never there. Yeah, so that's what it was again. It was just, the receiver getting to the marker, turning, sitting down, which we've seen completed all game long, and Toole threw it on the outside when that ball should have been thrown a little more on the inside. If he gets that ball, a yard towards the middle, that's completed in the first down Hanover.
So another promising drive here. Good field position, but turnover on downs gives it back to Hobart, who is up 12. The much coveted 2-score advantage, trying to make it 3 scores potentially with the touchdown. Starts with a give here. Another new running back, and they find some instant success.
Miles White.
He's down the sideline and untouched to the end zone.
White, the ball carrier for the
White had 9 carries coming into the ball game, and I thought he might be the guy getting the carries once I heard Pickett and Cash was out, and boy, he's about the 5th guy now to run the football. And it really makes me wonder if Coach Schreiber just found out, pretty much game time decision, maybe some type of surprising thing that Cash didn't play, because it didn't really look like they had a strong plan of who they wanted to run the football, and it took till late in the second quarter before Richardson finally they said, "It's our guy," and now giving White a shot.
It's a 61-yard touchdown brought to you by Westland and Bennett, and Janda's kick on the point after is good. It's a 34-16 advantage for Hobart, who has exploded offensively here in the second half.
Are you searching for a college where you belong? Calumet College of St. Joseph wants to know you and give you the support you need to succeed. Are you worried about how you'll pay for your degree? 95% of our students receive financial aid, including scholarships and grants. Need some extra help with your classes? You'll benefit from our small class sizes, free tutoring, internship planning, faculty mentors, and so much more. Come experience our accepting, supportive college family for yourself. Schedule your campus visit and apply at ccsj.edu.
From the gasoline in your car to the jet fuel in the sky, the diesel moving freight, propane warming homes, asphalt paving roads, and petrochemicals for everyday products, we make it all. We're United Steelworkers Local 7-1, the Local 7-1 Oil Workers, proud to power Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland, and the Midwest. We're not just refinery workers, we're your neighbors. United Steelworkers Local 7-1, powering the region because we are the region.
All of a sudden cannot be stopped. They've scored 34 points, 35, and it's been a 35-7 run from this Bricky team after they went down 9-0, and they've been unstoppable, especially here in the second half.
Well, once they figured out the running situation, we just talked about before the break, they tried 2 or 3 different running backs in the first half before they went to Richardson, who had a lot of success. And then obviously Tatum, just dominated the last 3 minutes of the first half. And we haven't seen much of Tatum here in the second half. A couple carries is all. But, you had to pick 6. And now, the big run by the sophomore Miles White, who's had 9 carries coming into the ball game. So Hobart's figured out the run game.
Short kick here. And returnable for Basswell, who did a nice job to get it across the 40-yard line. So good return for Hanover, and if they're going to get back in this game, they've got to score here, and they've got to do it pretty quickly. Going to need at least 3 possessions out of it, which means you're going to have to find a way to get the ball from Hobart twice.
And I'm still torn, and a lot of the region will be, is did Hobart figure out the run game here today, or because after the way the game started, you thought, well, okay, maybe it's this great Hanover defense is stopping them. But no, Hanover gave up a lot of rushing yards last week. Sam Sudak and Munster ran all over them. So I was a little surprised at how the game started because Hanover's rush defense has not been very strong. So is Hobart just, packing up big rushing yards against some poor rush defenses? Or maybe they got something going?
Gilio, the ball carrier there. Resney also in at quarterback, so I don't know if we've seen the last of Wyatt Toole or not today, but the guy who started the year as the starter is now into the game, taking over just outside of 11 minutes to play.
Toole standing behind Coach Barlameo over to the right of us on the sideline, helmet on, looks to be healthy. And, I talked about he's missed a couple guys, couple open receivers, overshot a few. Couple interceptions where he's just staring guys down, and I think Coach Barlameo just wants to see if Resney can give him a spark.
They send Gilio in motion. Resney Fakes it out there, now has the football himself, trying to use the wheels. He's tripped up from behind. It's a good run, but he'll be a yard short of the marker. Third down coming up.
That's more what you can get from Resney. He's more of a dual threat. Toole doesn't do much with his feet, so Resney gives you a little bit different look, a little bit different threat there. Able to run the football more similar as to what you'll get from Tatum, but it looked like, almost like Resney was indicating that he didn't get the call or was confused about something and ran off before Toole ran on.
I think he's a little bit banged up there. Yeah. They're checking his left arm, which is his throwing arm. And so Toole is back in on 3rd down and 1. He's got a running back to his right who he hands it to. That is Giglio, who didn't get a ton. I think Forward Progress is going to have the first. It does.
Just needed the 50, and both officials are beyond that.
Clock ticking inside of 10 minutes now. Hanover Central has got to go quickly.
They're not in much of a hurry. They get a quick little huddle here.
First down right at midfield. It's another give to Giglio. And Giglio across the 45, and they'll Forward Progress him to the 44.
He got a good push there on the right side, running behind Tarzan and Belcher. And that's one of the best pushes we've seen from this Hanover offensive line here tonight. And we've seen that, since Giglio entered the ball game. He's given them a little more, in terms of able to get some power up the middle, running the football, moving the pile a little bit.
Less than 9 minutes to play now. 2nd and 4 at the Hobart 44-yard line. It's another give to Giglio. Tries the left side this time and is tripped up at the line of scrimmage.
Hanover, they're not in a hurry. They're sticking with the game plan, continuing to run the football. You still see guys kind of just walking around the ball. I think they just want to have something positive happen on this drive, hope to get in the end zone, and then evaluate the situation at that point.
Third down and 4. And before the snap, a flag flies and a false start. And this is not going to help things.
No, it's just kind of been a weird drive, just running the football. Sure, they've had a little success, but you're down 19 points. You think you'd have a little more sense of urgency than what they've had. And Hanover seems to just be kind of content as to what the result is going to be in this ball game. Not a whole lot of energy going on out there right now.
And late to break the huddle here. But they did get a reset of the play clock, so all good. 3rd down and 9 from right on top of their own logo at midfield. It's Toole rolling right. Had a man wide open, throws it too high, and this might have been picked. It is. It's Subchinski's 2nd interception of the game as he is diving out of bounds for the turnover.
Yeah, great. That's a receiver playing both ways, making a wide receiver catch on the sideline where he had to drag his foot, keep it in bounce. People laugh on Sundays when DBs drop would-be interceptions, and that's why he's a defensive back and not a receiver. These guys are playing both ways, and Subchinski, the solid, pretty good wide receiver as well, making a great wide receiver play there on defense.
So it seemed like if there was going to be one, that was the last gasp potentially for Hanover, and now Hobart can really put the hammer down here with a touchdown drive. Already up 3 scores. And most importantly, if you're a Bricky fan, it seems like they have found something here offensively. And right now it probably feels like it, depending on the health, it could be a running back by committee. They fake the screen, going to go up top, looking for a big play down the field for Subchinski. And it was covered well as he was diving to try to come up with it. Good hustle on the backside to cover it by Evan Marsiglio.
And just made the interception, so they're going to take their shot, and they're going to take their shot with the guy who put him in this situation. Sobczynski had single coverage there on the far side and had it just go off his fingertips.
So 2nd down and 10. After the interception, the ball's sitting at the 34-yard line. 7.5 to go in case you're joining us. Just now on the radio side, Tim Fedler, Sam Michael with you from Hanover Central, where the Wildcats led 9-0, but it's a 35-7 run here by this Hobart Bricky club that has spaced this game out. On 2nd down, it's a run for Tatum. Tatum starts right, comes back left, and takes it across the 40.
Looks like he had a little read option there on the reverse. Could have gave the inside handoff on the jet sweep. Pulls it out, gets a nice pickup off the left side.
Bricky's trying to hold on to the football here and put this one away. Not give Hanover any more life, though. As we talked about in their last drive, they didn't necessarily seem to want it. They give it to White here, and White, good speed to the edge. He has the first down before he is pushed out of bounds. Able to move the chains right to midfield. That's a first down.
Yeah, White's the total package with the speed, the strength, the size. 6'3", 215 pounds, but this Hobart offensive line has really taken over this game from about the middle of the second quarter. Brenton Thompson, Pacey Gomez, Tyler Gieb, Preston Perez, and Josh Diaz have done an outstanding job opening up big holes for this Hobart run game.
First down play, Tatum wants to throw.
All day.
Throwing has a number of receivers, 2 of them down there, and they almost, I think, had more trouble for each other. Irvin was wide open, and the only guy who was near him was Tolliver.
Well, I think Irvin looked up at Tolliver, and that may have been why he drops the ball. You decide here. Is maybe they were going to have a conversation, and yeah, Tolliver was the closest guy to breaking up that play. And that's one Irvin is going to make him sick, over the next couple days. He wants that one back.
2nd down on top of the Hanover Central logo. Sobczynski comes in motion. Tatum fakes to him, keeps it himself, and dives left into the pile for a yard or two. There is a flag that comes in from behind, and this is a face mask, I think. That's the indication early. This is going against Hanover Central.
Well, that's a missed call. I did not see a face mask there on the replay. Tarzan came in and made a nice play.
Or was it a hit to the head?
Is that what it was?
Maybe
Tarzan possibly led with the mask.
Yeah, it's 50. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I might have misread the official. I think it was targeting.
Yeah, it looked like, Tarzan leading with the head. That would be a good call. There was no... that's just one in college where you're probably sitting out the first half of next week as well.
First down give to Miles White. White again around that left side. He has had room to run there. He's got a quick chain mover again inside the 20-yard line.
It just does beg the question is why didn't Richardson and Miles White get more carries early on in this ball game? The couple guys they went to early just didn't have much success.
It's White again. White running guys over. He is a hard runner, too, and at 6'3", he kind of reminds not too many running backs of that size. Guys like Adrian Peterson, who are a little bit taller, not comparing the two, of course, but you just don't see it very often that a 6'3" guy who could probably play defensive end or tight end is toting the ball from behind the quarterback.
You think about Fontenez, who was the first running back for Hobart, and they didn't even really make an effort to give him the ball at all. I think he only had one carry. So why weren't one of these other guys out there early? But they've certainly figured it out. I tell you what, I would love the combination. Of course, you're going to get Pickett back at some point, and you're going to get Cash back. It's a nice problem to have, but you love this combination of the speed, of Richardson, and then the power, even though Miles White has power as well, so he's just limping off the field. That doesn't look good. But, more the power and speed of Miles White and the speed and agility of Richardson's a nice 1-2 punch.
On third down and short, it is Tatum who is going to pick it up himself.
Tatum with the keeper for the Brickies.
Miles White in a lot of pain, and he's laying down over there by himself behind a chain crew, and there's no trainer has made their way over to him yet.
Gill completing the tackle for the
But Hobart just continues to grind this one on the ground. Clock is running as they are wearing out this Hanover defense.
Looks to be a left ankle for Miles White. Low snap. They give it Fontanez up the middle, and he is tackled right before the end zone. It'll be second and goal from the 1 yard line.
And that's the guy who started the game at running back for Hobart, so he's now back out there getting an opportunity, and nice to see him have success there as a nice carry. It's kind of just weird how Miles White was laying on the ground unattended for a little while, now helped over to the bench and receiving medical attention.
Hanover Central needs timeout. It is all Hobart here late with just over 4 to play.
For 100 years, Roofers Local 26 has been keeping Northwest Indiana dry and safe. Since 1919, our highly trained members have built a reputation for skills, safety, and reliability. With a 4-year apprenticeship and certifications in OSHA safety, first aid, and CPR, we deliver quality you can trust. When you need roofing done right, choose Roofers Local 26, protecting what matters most for over a century. For more information, visit www.roofers26.com.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
Tatum takes it under center, and they work the quarterback sneak. We'll wait for the official indicator. I think he's in, and it is. It's a touchdown for Tatum. It's his third on the ground.
Got a nice push from behind, looked like by Brenton Thompson, as Tatum just went under center, and take a look at it here. Just got the nice push into the end zone. And what a heck of a drive there by Hobart, running the football pretty much all the way downfield.
Janda is on for the point after. Remember, if you're just joining us, you might think Hobart really dominated this football game. Not the case. Hanover controlled the first quarter and a half. They led 9-0. Hobart scored 2 late touchdowns to have the lead at halftime. And then they have been unstoppable here in the second half and have really opened this one up with just over 4 to go.
Hero Lantern Man faces off against a nefarious insurance swindler.
I'll trick them into a contract and just keep raising the rates.
Luckily, they can make a call to Crow Company's Lantern Man. He's always ready to protect families from the insurance swindler.
I can easily defeat your overpriced policies. Fair prices always prevail when you call me, the Crown Company's Lantern Man. Crown Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
This weekend, make Doc's Barbecue your home for wall-to-wall football action. Kick things off with Friday Night Lights on JEG TV. Roll into a full slate of college football Saturday, and wrap it up with every big play from NFL Sunday, all on the big screen at Doc's. Pair the games with Southern-style hickory smoked barbecue in a fun, family-friendly atmosphere. Stop by Doc's Smokehouse in Dyer, where football and flavor go hand-in-hand all weekend long. Turned into a Bricky runaway here in the second half. They now lead it 42-16 with 4:11 to go. And I'm not sure how much more we'll see from some of their most important players. A chance to get guys into the ball game should Hobart have another offensive drive in this game. And see how aggressive Hanover is. They weren't very aggressive on their last drive. Short kick returnable just inside the 10-yard line. And this one taken right to the 30. And that is Bikema, and that is where Hanover has the football.
Turnover is really the story of this one. Hanover, after having some pretty good success throwing the football through the air in the first quarter and a half of this ball game, and it was those short passes, quick little slants, little mini post, getting the ball quickly to the perimeter of the guys like Lehman. After that, they started looking for one-on-ones on the edge, taking shots downfield, and Hobart has won those battles. Quarterback staring down receivers, allowing DBs to jump on routes. And we got a timeout here by Hobart.
I'm guessing they had a bunch of new guys out there who weren't lined up, but we'll see.
Sobczynski coming up big, with a couple big interceptions, pick six. And that's the thing. You can't lose the turnover battle that bad. Give up scores on defense or to the defense, and expect to come away with a victory. It's very difficult at any level of football. That's what Hanover is going to have to clean up and clean up fast, because it's not going to get any easier for them next week as they head over the 59 Broadway, take on the 59ers.
As we talked about with Hanover, it's just so much loss over the last 2 years. Still talented players on this roster. Good run for Giglio here, and he might not run everybody as he goes flying away for 70 yards and a touchdown.
Giglio with a massive carry for the Wildcats, resulting in a Wildcat.
Got some new pieces in there in the Hobart defense, perhaps, and that made a difference. But no, as I'm looking at it, I still see a lot of the Hobart starters out there. Peters, Zach jogging down the field. So that was just great blocking right at the gut for Hanover Central. And that's what they've been trying to get all game long, and Hobart was able to stop it. That time, Hanover was able to win the battle at the line of scrimmage and get a little excited here on homecoming.
On for the point after now is Zills. As he knocks it through. So 3:54 left. So trying to close this one out from Hanover Central.
Opportunities are everywhere, even right around the corner. That's where you'll find Horizon Bank, going beyond to make a difference in our community. Whether you're starting a business or a family, expanding your kitchen or your customer base, drop by and see us for friendly service, local expertise, and solid financial advice. Horizon Bank, beyond ordinary banking. Learn more at horizonbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
70-yard touchdown for Giglio. Hanover still showing some fight here to the very end. Game they once controlled early. Hobart has flexed their muscle a bit in the second half. After losing back-to-back ball games, had a little bit of annoyance, I'm sure. And they still took another quarter and a half for that to be totally handled on their side. And then since then, it's kind of been whatever they want offensively and have to feel much better about themselves. Their 2 games left will be the Morton Governors, which was a crazy game last year on the road, remember? Mm-hmm. All those points, so.
Just ended.
Yeah, right, it feels like it. I remember wherever we might have been here that week, I think we were. And then we went, grabbed something, went all the way back to Highland. And from the time I got there, we went to Langle's in Highland, had some pizza and that stuff. And I think I still watched another hour of that game. That's how long that game was. It was that crazy.
Morton putting some points on the board today against Hammond Central, so we'll see if they can. Not sure they're going to be able to put 50 points on the board against this Hobart defense, but.
Right, and that's another program, Hammond Central, who has just had a lot of attrition after some pretty nice teams and has always had some talented players who could kind of do it both sides, running backs, the Woods brothers kind of back-to-back kept that going. Fontanez gets the ball here for the Brickies. I'm sure they'll keep it on the ground for the most part. But that's a tough place to be right now.
Hammond's so difficult, to coach anyway, because you constantly have players going back and forth, and which unfortunately I think a lot of schools are going to find out, as the years go on now with the new transfer rules, and you get the free transfer anywhere you want up till your senior year. But that's been going on in Hammond for years, and it's really been guys going from Central to Morton rather than the other way around. And Coach Hudak did a good job of, keeping his team competitive despite watching guys like Woods, who competed for him, go to Morton, and, others as well. And now I think the luck just ran out for him this year.
Well, it's a unique situation, and as a program, no matter which program, and not just talking about Hammond, but now it's kind of everywhere, depending on which schools have open enrollment. But I know inside of the city limits, if you live there, it's kind of your choice on which school you want to go to. So it's a tough spot as a coach. I mean, you do your best, and I'm not saying people create environments where kids don't want to be, but it's kind of, how do I create the best environment possible where we're disciplined, we're worried about grades, we're doing all the stuff we need to do, but we're going to win, we're going to have a little bit of fun doing it. It's all these things that go into place, and sometimes it's out of your control. It might just be, 4 or 5 dudes who are pretty good players for our buddies, and maybe they're buddies with 3 or 4 guys at a different school, and it's like, how do we all go there? We saw it. Remember when LeBron and Chris Bosh and, Dwayne Wade was already in Miami? That kind of started that domino effect, and yeah, we've seen it in a lot of different sports now. So it's interesting for sure. And I don't know where it's going to go. It hasn't been as Wild West, I think, as people thought it was going to be.
It just started.
Right. So we will see, and that's the hard part about coaching, too. I wonder, some coaches, and God love them for it, but it's a difficult thing because some coaches in the back of their mind don't care, and then veteran guys are like, I'm going to coach my team the way I always coached, and whatever happens, we'll still be fine if a guy decides to transfer. But I can imagine there's some coaches who are worried about, as the Brickies taking a shot right on time into double coverage, and Subchinski got behind them both for the big play. But to finish the thought really quickly, it's kind of a thought of, man, if I coach a guy real hard, is that a guy who's going to end up, leaving the school? It's a weird dynamic all the way around.
Those super teams, if you remember, did not have all that much success, and now the NBA has gone the other way. We are not really getting those guys pairing up together anymore. The press conference where LeBron thinks they're going to win 8-9 championships.
Just keeps counting.
And, they got 2, so. And then, as you and I have seen at, Purdue Northwest the last few years, and I always said it at the beginning of the year, it's like every year there was a new roster. There was 9 or 10 guys, and it's like an all-star team where it takes a couple months for those players to gel together. And if these guys keep transferring at the high school level, we're all taught as young coaches when we come up in a profession, you got to build a program from elementary on up, right? So now if you're constantly getting new kids every year transferring at the high school level that don't know your way of doing things, don't know the Hobart way or the Hanover way or whatever it may be, and now you have to gel with other guys. And what about if you're a sophomore quarterback, you waited your turn, you think you're going to be quarterback as a junior, someone transfers in and pushes you out. And now there's going to be those kind of issues going on within your team. So it's not always as smooth as people think in terms of, I'm going to get this player. A lot of chemistry issues behind the scenes is what is going to give a lot of these coaches headaches. And you see guys like Nick Saban got out of it for that very reason. He didn't want to have to kiss butts of these guys. You're going to might see that at the high school level as well, where more and more coaches, choosing not to do it anymore.
Hobart kneeling this one out, and that will just about do it. They don't have to run another play For the Brickies, real quick, Tim, they've got 2 ball games left. As we mentioned, bit of a challenge next week against Morton, but very winnable game to close out the year against Highland. What's next for them after this convincing win, at least from the second half on?
I mean, yeah, you want to see them get healthy, get cash, and pick it back, but you saw something today. You saw their ability to run the football. Maybe they found something with Richardson, with Miles White, and obviously Tatum running the football a lot more. He needs to be a bigger part of the game plan. This is a championship-level defense and special teams from Hobart. Get this offense going. It's going to be a great rematch with Lowell at some point in sectional, and then we'll see the winner of that game maybe able to make a far run.
Hobart wins it tonight, 42-23. Thanks to my partner, Tim Feller, our entire crew. Under Nick Hedrick's direction, I'm Sam Michael. For everybody back at the Jet TV Sports Network, we thank you for watching and listening tonight, both on the video and the radio side. Have a great rest of your weekend. Week number 7 in the books. We'll see you next week.